Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm annoyed, but otherwise okay. We'll get into that in a little while. It's been a fun day on Twitter most of the day until I got a message from one of our viewers. Otherwise, Trump has been allowed back on Facebook and Instagram. They announced today that they're going to let him back. So there's been some good crying over that. Just little minor things like that make me happy on the inside.
Oh, what'd you think of World War III about to kick off?
Oh, I think that World War III is about to kick off with that German MP or PM or whatever the fuck she is out there talking about how we're at war with Russia. Like, what? She said Europe is at war with Russia.
Yeah.
She said instead of Europe fighting amongst ourselves, we need to realize we're at war with Russia. Like, I don't think so. I'm fairly certain that's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't remember voting for that, but here we are.
I don't remember the Europeans voting for it. Not a single fucking European country, as far as I know.
Hell, Europe doesn't get a vote. They do whatever the EU tells them.
The EU didn't vote on it.
No, they don't need to. They just announce it from on
All
high.
right, I hear you from that too. They didn't announce it there either.
Oh, well, I guess we found out through a media leak.
Any way you slice it, this is not something that's actually real. This is them trying to force a war.
Seems to be working. We did send in some tanks, and they're sending some tanks. So,
yep, the Germans are going to send in the Leopards, and we're sending in the Abrams. So,
did you see that video of Biden saying it's not like we're sending in tanks? That would be World War III.
Yeah, which, by the way, is what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
Anyhow, so yeah, that's all going on. But I apologize. I know we just talked about Eliza Bleu the other day, and I don't really want to talk about this dirty whore again, but we kind of have to, Jack.
Did we?
She angered me. And it's not something she did to me. It's not something she did to you. It's what she did to one of our audience members. Massive Dynamic was kind enough to tweet out our last video on this. And he got struck down on Twitter for it and was made to remove the post.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Buddha, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Now, in case any of you are going, oh, well, maybe he said something horrible in it, so that justified it getting taken down. Oh, no. Let me show you the actual thing that he had to take down here. And it's not just him. I mean, she has been on a fucking tangent. However, this was one of our fans, and that pisses me off. This is the tweet right here. Free Brittany Venti, free the quartering, Grift Queen Eliza Bleu getting exposed, Biden home raided, and Antifa rioting. That is our video right there.
Yep.
He got taken down for reposting our fucking video. So if I share this to YouTube, what is the chance of getting my Twitter banned? Banned completely? Probably not much. We won't be showing the World Star video tonight for a couple of reasons, but you could get smacked again. You could get suspended again just because a lot of people who are just simply out there questioning are getting suspended. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't recommend it. Look, guys, don't get yourselves in trouble for me. If you retweet my stuff, I appreciate it. I really do. But don't get yourselves in trouble over little old me. Eliza got the World Star Hip Hop video taken down, Jack.
Yeah.
The World Star Hip Hop video is taken down. Massive says, can't Eliza nuked it. Oh, but you can, because not only is it still on the World Star Hip Hop site, it has also been archived. So she can do what she wants. There's only so many ways that she can stop people from being able to share that. And
well, that's what happens with the Streisand effect.
Oh, yeah. If she was smart, she would have done like she did back in October, like she did in December, like she did in June or July of 2021. Just block the people and move on with her life.
Yeah.
And it's not on World Star Hip Hop anymore. Oh, that's okay. There's an archive. There's an archive. So it's still out there. Not to mention, if I had to, I could simply pull up our old video, Jack, because we showed quite a bit of it on there. She got it taken down as a privacy complaint. She got taken off of YouTube with a privacy complaint. Bitch, you agreed to do this. The archive won't play the video. I hear you, and I tell you what. Like I said, I could just play our old video. We played like 90% of the thing the other day. So
I expect she'll probably get that stricken at some point.
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Because yeah, good luck. So for those of you who don't know, Eliza Bleu is a sex trafficking advocate, anti-advocate. I don't know the exact way you're supposed to say that.
She's a sex trafficking survivor who advocates against sex trafficking.
Thank you. Cryptic, thank you. Playing WoW on Steam Deck and listening to the stream. Good stress relief. You can play WoW on Steam Deck. That's cool. But yeah, there's ways to still see the video if you want to. But she's a advocate, and questions started to pop up about her story because she claims that she herself is a sex trafficking survivor. All right, fair enough. Who am I to question the words of a woman who literally says you're supposed to believe victims? Believe victims. That's what she says over and over again on the Michael Savage show, which we'll get to in a little bit, Jack. Probably not the part where she's preaching, about the victims, because one, I think the advocacy stuff, that's great. It really is. Grifting it is not okay. She could have come out as just an advocate for this without having to been sex trafficked herself, because she wasn't. When it seems like all this girl has ever wanted is to become famous. And this goes back to even her saying that the person who first trafficked her knew she just wanted to be famous. Did The Weeknd ever reply to her open job application? We will check that out too, if we can still get to it. Go ahead, bud.
Just to let you know, the video that is in question, is the song Eliza Knows, is on BitChute.
Is it really? Somebody said they were uploading it to Rumble as well. So good luck, Eliza. All you did was bring more eyes to it. That's all you did. Nobody would have paid any attention. Brittany would have asked her questions. You could have just blocked her and left it at that. Worst case, Brittany makes a video about it and then nobody pays attention to it. Instead of blocking, you started getting people struck down for it.
Well, and Brittany Venti is one of those people who does a lot of stuff like this, like asking questions, that sort of thing. So ignoring her would have just meant she just moved on to something else. But by getting her stricken down, you've made her too powerful. Now she is much more powerful because her audience is really into the drama stuff.
Chauncey says she doesn't behave like a sex trafficking survivor. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight too. Because there's so much that I was watching today after I got that message from Massive. And Massive, I'm sorry you got hit because of stupid shit I did.
Yeah,
it's one thing. Eliza, if you came after me, I'd fight the man best that I could and then be like, fuck it, that's the way it is. Do not go after my fucking audience. You fucking twat. You fucking twat.
Well, and how many of us tweeted that out and did get struck down?
Oh, wait, you'll get it because she's hitting everybody. Do you remember me telling you the other day about how I found out all the deep dive stuff on this? A guy named Manuel DeFango. It's either Manuel or Manuel. I don't know how you say his name. I've made sure to archive his stuff, and luckily somebody was smarter than me and had already done it. She struck him down for sharing a podcast that he went on, and who was he talking to? Oh, Fair and Balance, that fucking idiot.
Oh.
But he went and talked to him. He talked to Chrissy Myers, got struck for sharing both of them. Yeah, just sharing stuff that people are doing, and getting struck down for that. So anyhow, let's jump to today, right? So some people did some more digging, Jack, because this woman has been very reluctant to share any details about her trafficking. Well, not exactly. A year ago, let's see, what is the exact date on this video? May 27th, 2021. So this is right before the first stuff comes out about her being a grifter. This is before the very first, at least the very first time I can find of anybody questioning her about her griftiness erupts. She goes on Michael Savage's show. Now, this first part we're going to watch, this goes back to what somebody said a moment ago about how she doesn't seem like a sexual trafficked survivor. And don't forget, guys, she also claims, or doesn't claim, depending on which time you see her, that she was raped at 15. That story's gone back and forth. She claims that a unpopular, I think is the way she says it, an unpopular photographer who went to the Vans Warped Tour, she went there and she met up with him, and that he raped her. Or in the other telling, he started grooming her. And in one telling, she goes to LA when she's 17 to meet up with him, and he introduces her to some rock stars. In another telling, she went to specifically meet with the rock stars. We'll get into all that. But first, here she is talking to Michael Savage about the child sex exploitation problem on Twitter, which, by the way, I agree, especially during this time, there was a problem. There still is. It's not completely cleaned up yet, but at least they're doing a little better with it. But just for time's sake, I mean, this is still under Dorsey's watch, and we know it was all going on back then. But here's her talking about it.
I get like kind of dark and graphic.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just so that we're crystal clear, we are talking about young children under the age of 18 being sexually exploited. So that either means that they're groomed by a predator to send their own sexual exploitation. In some cases, we see children exploiting themselves by selling their own child sexual abuse material. And in the most egregious of cases, it is adults sexually abusing children. And we're talking about anything from little babies to toddlers. So this is the type of material that's on Twitter. Now, when I say on Twitter, I'm not talking a small number. It's over 65,000 child sexual abuse material images and videos was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in 2020 alone. So that's over 65,000 to the National Center. So we're at an epic crisis.
She just lays this all out. Do you see her face? We are at an epic crisis? What? The bitch is smiling about it. It's an epic crisis?
Well, she's on TV. I don't know why she's wearing a tiara involved. That's weird.
Oh, I think it was just to make my job as a thumbnail creator so much easier.
Oh.
I'm almost positive that's why she wore it.
Is that why you called her the Grift Queen?
No, I remember I did that on the other one too.
Oh,
but when
yeah.
I saw the tiara on this one, I'm like, that is too perfect. It's too perfect. The bitch literally wore a tiara. Oh, keep that in mind. She is on a website. She's over on Michael Savage's show to discuss exploitation of children sexually, as well as her own exploitation. The bitch showed up in a tiara.
Yeah, that's really weird. Also, why does it look like she's in a nursing home?
I have no idea. She might have been.
Oh, better Wi-Fi, I guess. Real
But
quick.
it gets better.
Let me grab this real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. I can't take my dog to the pond anymore because the ducks keep attacking him. That's what I get for buying a purebred dog.
I see what you did there.
Thanks, Cryptic.
Look, what she's saying here is real. The stuff about the child exploitation.
Oh,
There really is a problem on social media with this stuff not being shut down, and certainly not shut down as fast as it should be. I mean, you're not going to catch everything when it first goes up, but you should be, as soon as you get a report on it, be able to look, go, yep, that goes down. And some of this shit is up for months before it's finally down. I just don't understand what's to smile about there.
That is a good question.
So, anyhow, so it's a problem.
Jack does follow me. And it, that conversation is really interesting. I was trafficked on Twitter as well.
Some of you might have just went, huh? Just hang in there. Hang in there. Yes, she really did just say she was trafficked on Twitter.
So there's been 3 profiles to my knowledge that my former abusers made to traffic me on Twitter. I didn't realize because I kind of just signed.
Wait. Did you see the smile again? Watch her fucking body language.
Interesting. I was trafficked on Twitter as well. So there's been 3 profiles to my knowledge that my former abusers made to traffic me on Twitter. I didn't.
She's so happy about it. Don't worry, guys. She explains how you get trafficked on Twitter. Hang on. Don't get ahead of the story. If you guys haven't seen this, you guys are going to be fucking amazed at what this idiot says. But yes, she was trafficked on Twitter, and she's really, really excited about it.
Hang on. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Cryptic should beat them ducks down. That dog is his dinner, not the ducks. Yeah, well, I wonder if the dog rolls into a ball and that it becomes a dinner roll.
All right.
I didn't realize because I kind of just signed up for Twitter in late 2019. So it was like one of the last few days of 2019. I signed up for Twitter.
What is that?
Do you see how happy she is through that whole thing there? She didn't realize she was being trafficked on Twitter. Now, I could see a case being made for being trafficked on Twitter if something is using Twitter to sell your image. Hey, this is what you're going to be buying if you come bang this hoe that I own, kind of thing. That's not what she's talking about. And you see Michael's face. That's where all of us went when the bitch said that. And you're like, what? Don't worry, she explains.
The way when I first heard this, the way I understood it was they were advertising her for sale on Twitter. Like, follow this link and you can get this chick off of us, rent or whatever. That's how I understood it. But
yeah, no, that's not what happened at all. Listen to her. What Michael's going to ask, we're going to let him ask, and then and Michael, thank you for having the sense to ask this, and shame on you for not catching what she said.
I mean that they trafficked you on Twitter. How can someone traffic you if they're not in contact with you?
Yeah. So the way that was working, I didn't know.
Yeah. See, the people who were supposedly trafficking her weren't in contact with her in any way.
What?
Yes, they weren't in contact with her in any way. Hi, Miss Nuts. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Stargazer.
About the profiles existing because I wasn't on Twitter and I wasn't looking for them. The way that my former abusers were doing it is that it was going back to my Instagram. The Twitter accounts were linking back to my Instagram, and they were trafficking me off Instagram, Backpage, sugar daddy websites. I mean, whatever type of internet trafficking is what was happening.
What she means here by trafficking is directing traffic to websites. She means they were using her picture to catfish guys. They were using her picture to entice people to go to other sites. And she's calling that trafficking.
That's not what that means.
That's not at all what trafficking is. In fact, you just made a fucking mockery of trafficking with that nonsense.
Yeah. Usually when somebody says they were trafficked online is somebody went on Craigslist or Backpage and offered prostitution services with you,
Yep.
that would be trafficking, or was selling you to another person. Not, hey, they took my image and are using it to trick idiots into giving them money.
No. This is one of her two. Remember we talked the other day about how she said she'd been trafficked twice?
Yeah.
This is the second one right here. This is her being trafficked.
That's not what that means.
Go into more detail. So it looks like a profile.
Yeah, Trippy, by this account, I've been trafficked before. I mean, somebody stole my whole channel once. They took the whole thing, all of the art and everything, and put it on a whole separate YouTube channel. I was trafficked, you guys.
Oh my God. Monkey
Jim says, so they
trafficking
used
is
her photo without her permission. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. That is her version of her being trafficked. Now, imagine that and think of all of the other stuff she's claimed has happened to her, including the fact that she says she was raped. No, I was groomed. You decide. Imagine all of that.
In my particular case, the profiles look like profiles that would be me, but trying to entice business to sell me, bringing it back to my Instagram where they were doing business.
I don't understand how that part works, how they were bringing it back to her Instagram.
I have no idea. What she's describing is like copyright infringement.
At best, yes. Especially if what they're doing is redirecting traffic to her own fucking Instagram.
Yeah, and they're like trying to pose as her maybe and say, hey, here's my Instagram, check it out, I guess. But it would be one thing if she was, because she said in all those ways, and that was very vague to me. But if she's saying that simply copying her pictures is human trafficking, she's retarded. If she was saying this is how they prostituted me, that would be something that we could verify.
Yeah, but they weren't actually prostituting her. She's just claiming that they used her picture.
Yeah, and that is in no way human trafficking. I don't think she understands what these words mean.
John says the wall's coming for her. If you see up close pictures of her, she smacked that wall. She puts on a shit ton of foundation before she goes on camera. A shit ton. The bitch looks like Noriega.
Oh.
Yeah, her skin is fucked.
Fortunately, in my particular case, there are no nude images or videos of me on Twitter. Thank God, right now.
Is this what you guys think of with the trafficked victim?
Why is she laughing at that?
She thinks everything's funny. Child sexual abuse, her nudes, everything's funny to this chick.
The day is young, I guess.
By the way, you guys know how I give you lessons from time to time on how to spot a liar? Somebody who laughs for no reason, often a sign of them lying.
But it would go back to my Instagram, and that's how they would traffic me, sell me without my full consent and without my knowledge.
Can you be trafficked with your full consent, sweetheart?
Maybe.
I don't think that's how trafficking works.
I don't think so either, but maybe if you have multiple personalities and one of them's okay with whoring you out.
Without my full consent.
When I joined Twitter, an ex-boyfriend actually pointed out the first profile. After I reported it to Twitter, it took them 3.5 months to take it down. The second profile took 5 days. They actually took it while I was on my way to do they took it down while I was on my way to do my interview with Tim Cast. And
just for the record, impersonating someone is not human trafficking.
It's not. And this is how we know that she's not talking about actually being trafficked. If you had any doubts up till now, she just said that the second time it got taken down when she was on her way to do Tim Pool, which is not when she's being trafficked by her own admission. This bitch is a liar. I said in the description that I can prove she's a liar. She's a liar. She's absolutely a liar. what she's talking about. Whether you want to believe anything else, you know, Brittany Venti was still very, very kind to her in the one video that I saw, and I mentioned that when we talked last time. There is no way to not say this bitch is a liar who's doing it for fame. Period. End of story. Jack, you want to say something funny?
Maybe.
I don't want to get too far ahead here. Got my fucking... All right, we're just going to have to start in the middle of whatever they're talking about right here. You'll see it when it happens. There's stuff to discuss, but we'll see it when it happens. All right.
Ask if there's anything that you can do to help.
Oh, this is a part they're talking about. How do you talk to survivors, whether you're an intimate partner or just a friend? And she's given us the lowdown.
And if they're not ready to proceed, you know, one thing, just generally speaking, a lot of survivors don't want to be asked their story.
Sure.
When most survivors reach...
Odd that you know that. Not that, I mean, it's not easily to find information that you could use to grift off of and not have to tell your story.
Tell their story, myself included.
Did you see her little smile when she did, myself included?
It's not fun. It's like pretty much the worst.
Pretty much.
What about that makes you smile?
I don't understand this though. This is weird, man.
This whole fucking interview, and anytime you see her talking about this bitch smiles at the weirdest reasons, like she is fucking high. I don't think she ever gave up the ice. Oh, I haven't told that story yet. We'll get to that later.
So a lot of people don't want to tell their story, but if you just say, I believe you, how can I support you? And then also, just as I would tell anyone, if you have friend, family member, coworker, you know, anybody, just have some resources available so that if they reach out, you know, if they're struggling, if somebody's crying and says, you know, I was sexually assaulted as a child, I just watched this podcast, I'm triggered, whatever happens, you have the hotline number ready for them. Say, hey, you know, you could call this and speak directly to an advocate, no strings attached, no.
Like at all times, I'm supposed to walk around with pamphlets and shit?
Yes. Like you're a Mormon.
Sure.
It's free. And if they want to disclose, you can be there for them and show.
Advise them to go to the police where something can actually be done. Can I just throw that part out there?
Show them love and proceed with caution.
Advise them to name their abusers so it can't be done to anybody else. Lady. Thank you, Cass One. Same energy as It's Sexy Trump R Lady. Oh, yeah. E. Jean Carroll, right?
Yeah, there's a certain parallel that could absolutely be drawn there. Crazy.
Q, you and Keldrig, my alert does not like to tell me. Everybody else have been getting alerts lately, but you too. I'm so sorry about that. Over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Q, who says, don't mind me just trafficking a tip to your wallet. I appreciate that. Now Yellow Flash got banned. Get the fuck. Yeah, he got banned earlier today. On his Flash account.
Yeah, I saw that Umbrella guy
Yep.
said something about his video on this got put behind a wall or taken down. I don't remember which.
Okay, did you guys hear that? The alert just went off.
Is that a new one?
I don't think so. Let me refresh just to make sure. I don't know what's up with this lately. But if I do miss you guys, please do try to tell me in chat. I catch some of it that I see. Anyway, so back to giggles here.
You know, especially when it comes to sexual assault or human trafficking, you know, not taking advantage of them, not disrespecting them. But this is like general life stuff, right? Like,
But it's not, because I think most people, because this is something that's so poorly discussed, most guys are going to be most guys are going to often be on eggshells around women anyway, just in some context. And when you hear this and the guy's thinking, if I say the wrong thing, or do the wrong thing, I'm going to make her into like a complete basket case through no fault of my own. Like there's this, element of paralysis that involves, and now the girl or the partner, the male partner.
I'm still single, Malice.
What?
He's explained, look, as a partner of one of these people, it can be, hard to even have any. That's why I'm still single. We're not done yet.
So inappropriate.
Oh no. Just wait.
Are you telling me why I'm still single? I hate everything.
Oh no, Eliza, we have a list of why you're still single. All right, here we go.
Listen.
Watch her.
It's 1 through 247. We did it. We went on locals. Why is Eliza still single? This was quite a family feud. So it was bad taste in music. I don't know who put that one on there. That's on here.
I hate you.
Watch
mismatched
what she's doing
shoes.
here.
I don't know what that.
I do not.
It's on the list. Don't question the list. No. So okay, great stuff, Alyssa. That cowboy hat's on here. It's 193, and the bandana is number 17.
In the middle of a discussion about sexual abuse, child sexual abuse, trafficking, not only does she show up in a tiara, she does a wardrobe change into a gold cowboy hat and a gold bandana.
The level of tackiness and inappropriateness is staggering here. I don't even know what to say to this. This is just so wildly not appropriate.
Didn't I tell you there'd be one place where you'd go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How
do you do that? I mean, what is there a puppet show too? Like, what else are you? This is like drag shows for kids. This is just like, these things do not go together. What are you doing? Why are you not taking this seriously?
I saw this and my brain actually stopped for a second. I don't know what the fuck she's doing right there. All right. The part that there's more, I wrote down another timestamp and I'm not sure why I wrote this next one down. It's not that long from here. So we're going to watch Cowgirl here right up.
But in all seriousness, it's the kind of thing where I think guys don't know how to.
I don't think. Listen, I mean, this is like any type of trauma, right? I mean, the way I look at it is, it is 2021. Everybody's got something.
Sure.
Not really.
Current year,
everybody's traumatized. Be careful. Carry pamphlets with you.
Everybody's got something. And I think that because we know so many people are survivors of sexual assault out here, I think it behooves of us to just proceed with caution, believe survivors, offer assistance when they need it.
Believe them survivors, girl.
It's
Believe
hard to take any of this seriously with a stupid hat on.
You don't think Howdy Doody here makes a better point?
No, I think this is so treating this like a total fucking joke.
Ryan, she's sitting there wearing a gold cowboy hat. How could you say she's just doing this for attention? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
How dare you?
I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, to me, it is my real life. It's normal. To you.
It is totally not your real life. You are a liar. You just called getting your picture stolen on the YouTubes, on the Twitters, trafficking.
You have your own trauma, Malice. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like in that like you have that much trauma, but everybody's has something. A lot of people were bullied in school. I mean, I was homeschooled, so they didn't have a chance to bully me for my antics.
Keep that in mind. That's going to come in important later. She was homeschooled. Every story she tells, she mentions that she was homeschooled. But keep it in mind because it is important.
But,
is homeschooling trafficking too?
I'm going to have to let you be the judge when we talk about that.
Oh.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know if you can tell, but there's obviously a mirror over here. And she keeps looking in it. Hang on. Let's go back. We'll use that button so we don't go back too far.
No,
She's clearly looking in a mirror.
I don't know. I guess I don't.
This is the person people are defending, by the way. She put on a gold cowboy hat in the middle of a discussion about sexual abuse of children.
Think about it. Those are good questions. To me, it is my normal. So
how many times you need to tell us it's your normal? Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
I think if I reached out to someone, because I go through a lot of times when I was struggling, I was like super struggling last week, like super duper struggling with everything.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
I needed someone to be there for me. Now, I'm not dating Eric July. This is just the person that ended up being there for me.
Eric, you silly son of a bitch. You should have told her she was stupid and to knock it off. Godzilla, thank you. That hat inspires my trust. I know, mine too. Nothing says trust like, look, I'm a stripper. The Chaos One, thank you. Okay, so I'm not watching. That's Ellen DeGeneres in her younger years.
What
was that?
I may not like Ellen DeGeneres, but that was mean.
That was kind of mean.
Sat down, he talked to me, he helped me unpack what was going on. We're not dating, but like just as a person, I have other friends a lot from your community that really sit down and help me unpack.
Yes, young Ripa, who she's talking about.
Those things. So they're not helping me as a survivor necessarily. They're just, they're helping me as a friend. How would you help a friend? How would you be there for a friend? Does that make any sense? Or am I doing? Of course.
I think.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Also, I really hate that phrase unpacking. It sounds like you're traveling.
Right.
It's weird, especially in this context. Like, he's helping me unpack. Unpack from what? Were you on a trip somewhere? That phrase is always kind of just stuck with me, and it irritates me a little bit. I don't hate it. It's just like very much not relevant. It creates a different set of imagery than what you're going for. It just bothers me.
Thank you, Cass Wonder says, no, seriously, that I don't know who that is. I'm not watching. Or is that the exact same? This is not Ellen DeGeneres. This is Eliza Bleu. Eliza Bleu. Sorry, just Eliza, not Elijah, because that's a cuter name.
I think it also, what I'm reading between the lines is, in those situations, you should follow the victim's lead.
100%.
Yeah, and just kind of be like, okay, like I can't drive this car, and it's okay that I can't.
Got to make sure that bandana is sitting just right, so it's just cute enough when we're talking about sexual exploitation. I don't like this woman.
Yeah, the more we learn about her, the more obnoxious and disgusting she seems to be.
Guys, here's the rest of that interview. It's like an hour and a half long. She has several of these out there. She's got some over with, let's see, she did Dr. Drew, and then several others I've never heard of before. All right, where's the other one I wanted to, is it this one? I think it's that. This is her talking about her abuse and how it all started, Jack. This is why I told you you're going to have to decide for yourself whether homeschooling is victimization or is trafficking.
So my story, I was homeschooled. So I was homeschooled, and I was groomed at age 15. I went to a concert.
By the way, she has claimed at different times that she was raped at 15, not just groomed. So she changes that story back and forth.
She was groomed at a... Wait, what?
Groomed is not raped. Yes, she was groomed at a concert. She went to a concert.
That's a fast-working groomer there.
Well, it actually, she says, takes place over 2 years. But again, her story changes depending on when she tells it. But
Vans Warped Tour in Chicago, and I had a driver's permit. So I went, I had a driver's permit, thought I was cool, went to the Vans Warped Tour.
Who was with her? You can't drive by yourself on a driver's permit.
ding, 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 ding. Shh. Don't tell those stories, Jack.
Oh, my bad. Hey, when you get sued for this, can I give your lawyers some questions for discovery? Because
Oh, absolutely.
I worked with kids that were sexually assaulted. So
Yeah, just type them up. He'll enjoy that.
All right, cool.
Ricada, I'm gonna need some recommendations.
For a good pro bono lawyer.
And met a photographer there. And the photographer spent 2 years grooming me.
Five, 2 years grooming me. All right.
I don't know where 5 came from. 15 was probably in my head, but yeah, 2
Yeah, those are the same thing.
years grooming me. I actually went to Los Angeles to do a photo shoot with the photographer, and so everything
Wait.
sort of seemed.
What's that?
Wait. So
Yeah.
she was groomed over a 2-year period, which put her at the latest 17. Her
Yeah.
parents let her go to California?
Oh, yeah. No, it's better than that. It's better than that.
Wow, her parents are shit, especially if she was homeschooled.
Oh, wait. You're getting ahead of us.
Oh, my bad.
Just put that back in the barn for just a second.
Pretty legit. I moved to Los Angeles before I turned 18, and just barely, because I graduated early because I was homeschooled. And with a few days of being there, I was promised the world. I was promised I was going to be a star, and my naivete really didn't work in my favor in this case.
Now, what's not said on this little podcast, and I'll throw it into chat, is it when she claims that when she got to LA, this is on a, I think this was on a Spaces that you can still find on Twitter. I'll have to see if I can dig it back up because that's not one of the ones I saved here. She claims that in order to fit in with all the cool kids, she started doing drugs, and she didn't even know what the drug she was taking was. It was ice. That's all she knew, is it was ice. She still doesn't know what it is. Do y'all know what ice is?
So that methamphetamines?
It's meth. But yeah, she was just naive, y'all. It's not that she was a meth whore. No, it was naive and she was trafficked, which I totally believe, Jack. 100% I believe her story. 100%.
I believe that she probably went to Los Angeles, wanted desperately to fit in, and started doing drugs. Maybe was taken advantage of by people that didn't have her best interests. Was she 17? I doubt it. Did she get involved in a bunch of shady stuff? Probably. A lot of people that end up in LA do. That doesn't mean you were groomed or trafficked.
Now, oh crap, the other one I wanted to play.
Does she have any evidence of any of this stuff, or is it just her word?
Just her word.
Has she released any names from any of this?
Nope.
Then why are we supposed to believe her?
Now, there are several different versions of this story, but notice that I went to LA when I was 17, almost 18. What she doesn't tell us in there that she tells us in other interviews, I think it's in the one with Dr. Drew. She says that her dad is the one who drove her there. Her dad is the one who drove her there, and they did it because she was a rebel child, you see. And they knew she was going to do it whether they wanted her to or not. So, I mean, is homeschooling, because she claims that she was able to do that because she graduated early because she was homeschooled. I guess it's the homeschool to trafficking pipeline, Jack?
I guess so. Also, most rebels don't have their dad drive them places.
Oh, look, she was a rebel.
With a rebel yell, Dad told me to sit down, shut up, put my seatbelt on.
Cry with the rebel yell. Shit, do I have Manuel's thing still up? I don't think I do. Because there's a whole lot of information. She made a big mistake in striking down Manuel today. because he was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm sharing everything. I am retweeting everyone. And there was this one guy who had a lot more information on this stuff. One of them, and damn, I wish I'd kept it open. I want to see if I can find it real fast. But it's her saying, oh, wait, I retweeted that. Never mind. I know where to find it. She tells us that at 10 years old, Jack, she had a dream.
Was it about black and white kids being together? And
kind of in a roundabout sort of way. This is from her Life of a Video Vixen, which I think I closed that because opening it is kind of sketchy. Anyway, hang on. Let's bring this up.
Yeah, Manuel's been busy. Holy shit.
She says, reel the tape back. It's 1991. I'm 10 years old. My goal in life at this particular point is to become a fly girl on the hit TV show In Living Color. No joke. I looked up to those girls so much that I dressed like them, acted like them, and even danced like them. All right, slow your roll, Eliza. I need to talk to you.
Wait.
You are from a conservative family that homeschooled in the early fucking 90s, and your parents let you dress like a fly girl.
Not only that, they let her watch In Living Color.
Ding, 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 ding.
I wasn't homeschooled. I wasn't allowed to watch In Living Color. I did anyway, but my parents weren't always around. So what the fuck is she talking about?
What?
Not age appropriate for a young child. I was like a late teenager when that show was on.
Look, the show itself, I mean, it had goofy comedy on it. The fly girls were at least covered most of the time. It's not like they were in bikinis or anything. But you're telling me a conservative household that was so conservative, your parents homeschooled, not private school, homeschooled you. And you guys have to understand, for those of you who see like the big push for homeschooling and stuff today, a lot of that is wokeist, culturalist kind of stuff going on. You go back to the 80s and 90s, that's not what it was. It was deeply, deeply religious people.
Yeah, like super religious, usually Mormons and people that were like, what's a polite way of saying crackpots?
Crackpots.
Oh, fair enough. That's usually what you saw back then. There wasn't the networking that you have now through the internet because none of that infrastructure was there.
Wait, what's In Living Color for us non-boomers? Well, for you uncool people, In Living Colors was the Wayans brothers' answer to Saturday Night Live.
I never thought it was that good, quite honestly. The Fire Marshal Bill stuff was pretty good.
Fire Marshal Bill's who I hated the most. Damon Wayans' characters were always fun on there. The one sister who did Oprah and years later felt really bad about it because she did Oprah being fat and eating constantly. It was wonderful. I loved it. It was great.
I'm dropping a link to a video of the Fly Girls. You can watch it on mute and get an example of the type of stuff they do and the way they would dress.
Homie the Clown. How could you not like Homie the Clown?
It was okay. It was kind of a one-hit joke, though.
Homie don't play that. No, watching little white kids get hit with socks is always funny.
Well, I don't like children most of the time, but yeah, it's just it's a lot like Saturday Night Live in the respect that they often just beat the joke to death. It's like, I get it, dude. I get it.
Yeah, so this is her Life of a Video Vixen. She had an open letter to the Weekend on this little site, which you can only find through the Wayback Machine, and half of it's missing. But luckily, this post got saved. Now, remember, guys, she just had that video taken down from World Star Hip Hop. I don't know if she got the other two about her taken or that she was in down or not. But that all had to go. Look, it was private stuff. It's private. It's revenge porn. Dear Abel Tesla, whatever, The Weekend. Do you know who The Weeknd is, Jack? He's a singer.
Yeah, he sings that "Blinded by the Lights" song.
Dude, I don't know anything that he sings. I just know that there's a guy named The Weeknd, and I made fun of him for about half an hour on a show one night because his nickname was The Weeknd.
Yeah, it's a stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
But some of his music's not bad. I don't hate him per se. I just find his name stupid.
Hello, my name is Eliza Sepp. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. I don't know if that's her real name or not. I'm not doxing her. This is a name she went by for quite a long time. She's gone by Eliza Knows, Eliza Cuts, which still makes me laugh. Eliza Bleu and Eliza Sepp, whatever. I was kind of thinking that maybe I would introduce myself, being that I really want to work with you and be in one of your music videos. See, I am kind of a dreamer, except for the fact that I like to dream out loud. Really, really loud. I'm pretty sure that this blog is going to set off some kind of Google News alert that your PR person, manager, and label check on a frequent basis to look for activity. As well they should. I like her giving them, professional tips.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah, if they needed your professional tips, you would have been the one famous at the time, sweetheart.
Crowder.
I mean, let's face it, our dreams are considered actual news, right? Anyway,
who are you?
I would like to work, or I would work really hard to be the best visual extension of your music that I could be. It would be an honor to get to work with you in any way, shape, or form. No, I will not hold it against you that I have to listen to your music via YouTube, skipping songs on Pandora and iHeartRadio for months on months. I used to listen on SoundCloud, but you decided to end that relationship for me. Don't worry, I'm not trying to be your best friend or sit down and have a heart-to-heart. I simply just long to work with you and be the best of the best artists in the world. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I hope that you find my hustle clever. None to fear. I added pictures of myself and my contact info. Oh, shit. I did want to bring that up, so I'm going to have to go find that. For your PR manager. And she has her actual contact information. I didn't include it because I don't want to be accused of doing anything untoward. So see if I can find it. Life of a video. You got to see this one picture that this is a site she controlled. She wrote that letter. And we saw how upset she got over them, not taking down her stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is this the right one? No. Oh, well, I'll have to find it. It's this picture, Jack. She might as well have had her titties hanging out.
Well, that seems to be a theme.
A little bit on brand for her, actually.
Yeah. World star.
World star.
Am I doing that right?
Oh. She's a liar. She's a fucking liar. She's a fame-chasing whore is what she is. Her story about the original trafficking, and it does change. First, she tells that she got raped at 15. And then she changes it to, I got groomed at 15 at the Vans Warped Tour for 2 years. And I went and did this photo shoot. And then that guy sold me out. And then instead she tells another story where she met up with a band at this time, which would be prior to her obsession with My Chemical Romance. And she met up with a band at this time, and they were the ones who sold her off, some musician. And then she tells us that she was trafficked on YouTube or on Twitter.
Now, was she on American Idol?
She tried out for American Idol. Yes, she did.
Oh, okay. And I'm seeing Manuel posted something about her being in a band.
She was in a band, and I would play that, but the audio is fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's what he said.
The audio is fucking shit. We throw that thread into chat for them again?
Sure.
Yeah, this lady's a liar, and instead of just owning up to her own past, which if she'd have just done that, she didn't even have to like block Brittany. She could have just said, "Hey, look, this was I'm not ashamed of what I did there. It's just not something I would do today. I was in a lot of videos. I actually she was in that we can find, I think 5, including American Idol and Blind Date. She was also on Steve Harvey's show for about 15 seconds when Steve Harvey and Tyra Banks they had a show together or something, and she was on it for like half a second modeling.
Oh,
So she was a groupie. Yes, she actually either did marry or almost married the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Bad quality music or just bad quality audio? Both, actually.
yes.
Yeah.
Here's an archive somebody did a few days ago of
Cool.
that thread.
Yeah, I just made sure to archive it today too. But it had already been archived, so I didn't re-archive it. Yeah, this lady can go fuck herself. She is a horrible, horrible person, and her trying to silence her critics using the tools that are meant to actually help victims. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting to try and silence all these people who are like, hey, this doesn't match up, to protect whatever it is she's trying to accomplish. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care about this woman at all, but she seems to think she is way more important than anyone else, and getting all these people struck down is probably counterproductive to what she wants to do in life.
Look, man, after the last video, I was like, you know what, fuck this bitch. I won't be promoting her. If she comes up on my timeline, I'll point out what a horrible bitch she is, but otherwise I'll leave her alone. And then she had to strike one of our viewers, and fuck that bitch.
Yeah, that is not acceptable.
How dare you be on a show for an hour and a half and laugh your way through child sexual abuse, child sexual exploitation, and all giggling your goddamn way while you do fucking wardrobe changes in the middle of it, wearing a fucking tiara for the first half of it. And tell me you take this shit seriously by dressing like a goddamn clown. She's 41 as far as we know, guys. As of right now, yeah, she's 41.
That's the best guess, because there are apparently multiple timelines for her age.
Yeah. Well, if we look at the one that she gave there about 1991 being 10 years old, she would be 6 years younger than me. And in 91, yeah, I mean, it's the right age mark. It just depends on which telling of her stories that you're talking about, because a lot of her time frame, that the way she tells it seems to line up when she was with My Chemical Romance, which is about 5 to 6 years later. Then she tries to claim all the stuff happened. So it's really, it's hard to pin down. But the best number that we have is her recently saying that she's 41 years old. Then we have it backed up by that post just that we read just a little bit ago, that in 91 she was 10, which would make her 31 right now.
From what I've seen, I'm guessing she's closer to my age. So
I'm sorry, I said make her 31 and make her 41 right now. Yeah, I mean, she's in our decade, Jack.
Yeah, but I think she's probably 5 or 6 years older than she's claiming.
It wouldn't be that hard to find out. I mean, we know who her dad is. Her dad's name is out there. Her dad is a member of the Illinois State House. You know, the guy who drove his daughter to go be whored out in Hollywood. Which is weird. She only tells that part of the story every so often. She doesn't tell it very often that her dad was involved with driving her out there. In fact, that I remember of all the shit I watched today, she only says it once. She ignores it the rest of the time. The rest of the time, she says like her family letter, or she just leaves it hanging at I graduated early. Excuse me, I graduated early. Like that's a normal thing, even in the early that'd be mid 90s, that somebody be like, yeah, you can go ahead on your own as a minor. You won't be able to get a job or have anywhere to live, but sure, go on out to. Most parents were supporting their children going out to Hollywood and Vine at the time. Do you guys know what Hollywood and Vine is? I don't know if that's too California, 80s California of a reference.
I think you're dating yourself a little bit there, buddy.
Hollywood and Vine, I don't know if it's still this way, but that's where the hookers used to hang out. Anyhow,
1980 Blickety 2.
I think it's still a horror area, if I remember correctly, last I heard. Chaos One, thank you. Remember, the meth hoeing adds years, and the camera adds 5 pounds. So do with that what you will. Indeed. I mean, look, man, she didn't want to be a meth hoe. She was forced into it. No, she wanted to fit in. That's another place that it doesn't stay the same. She was forced to be doing drugs. No, wait. I did them to fit in. I'd ask you to tell the truth, but I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure you know how. I really don't. I think you just make up shit that you think is going to get you attention, and you've been doing it your entire life. You have an extensive social presence going back to the 90s. She was big on, the early 2000s. She was big on MySpace. She hung out with Jeffree Star. There's actually a video of her dropping the N-bomb. Did you know that part, Jack?
Oh no, I was unaware of that.
Yeah, there's if you're going through Manuel's timeline there, you'll see a video. I think in the still frame you can see pink hair. That's Jeffree Star.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all getting into an elevator. And when they get out, a couple of the girls split away, and then Jeffree and her and another girl go down the other way. And yeah, she straight up drops an N-bomb.
Is it the hard R or soft A?
I want to say hard R, but don't quote me on that.
Wow.
It hit my brain like, did she just say the N-word? And yeah, she absolutely did. Anyhow. So Eliza's as toxic as Jeffree. I mean, they came up together. And oddly enough, with all that social presence, it wasn't until very recently that suddenly she had this sex story. When she was being a whore trying to promote her music videos and stuff, when she makes a video saying that she's at the point where she could turn down a guy who wanted to give her $150,000 for sex, she doesn't mention any of this. She doesn't talk about how triggering that was to read, because apparently somebody sent her an email asking, hey, for $150,000, would you want to do it? That didn't trigger all of this stuff. Oddly. Weird. It's really weird. Meth's been around since the 30s. I don't know when crystal meth became a thing. I mean, methamphetamine being called ice, I don't know how far back that dates either.
That's like the 80s.
So, I mean, sure. I'm willing to believe that she was I am definitely willing to believe this bitch does meth.
Or did at one point in the past.
I mean, just because she's gotten her teeth done, has got some nice veneers in there, doesn't mean she ain't ever suck a dick for some blow. I'm just saying there's not a drug you could tell me she does that I'd be like, no way. They're not a fucking one of them. Like, you tell me that she once, sucked a dick for some cheeseburgers, maybe I'd be like, nah, that's probably too far. Probably too far. Who gets that reference? Hey man, you want some cheeseburgers? Oh man. No, where are we? I think that's everything I want to talk about with her, because screw this hoary bitch. Stop blocking people. I don't care if you block them. Stop reporting people. Stop getting people taken down for shit that they didn't do wrong. And social media companies, I know you never listen to me. Stop enabling her. Matt Tiabi, I need you to dig into Twitter and find the Twitter files, which are going to be very fucking recent, about Eliza Bleu. Because people are getting struck down on stuff that is in no way against any of the rules. That's bullshit. It's just nonsense. Anyhow, moving along. Actually, it's not from menace to society. It's don't be a menace that has the you want some cheeseburgers? Man, I will suck your dick. Anyway, let's move along. Shall we, Jack?
Sure.
Oh, did they take that tweet down? Oh, that sucks. I'm really not a fan of this guy, Mario Noal, who's really big on Twitter right now. Really big on Twitter. He does most of the spaces that you see are really big. Like when Elon Musk went to one of the Twitter spaces, Mario Noal was the one who was overseeing it. He's a scam artist. You can look it up on YouTube. There's like, who's the guy that is it Upper Echelon who did the 4 different videos about this guy? He's actually in the middle of a series right now about this guy. But for some reason, just like Sam Bankman-Fried before him, he's treated like a wunderkind because he's young and robs people. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about it, guys. But one of his co-hosts got upset that his Twitter space crashed earlier, and I just tweeted it out with the link to the video, one of the most recent videos about him. Like, good, then there's one less scammer on the air. Which brings us to a different scammer. Actually, 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them. Holy shit.
Remember the name Rebecca Jones?
It sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you.
She's the Florida chick who claimed that Ron DeSantis and the government of Florida was lying about the COVID numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out she was massively full of shit.
Yeah.
And even though a whole bunch of the media, was on her side, not one of them came out and went, yeah, she was full of shit. Our bad guys. We shouldn't have promoted that.
Why would they want to do that?
Well, today she had breaking news. Actually, it was yesterday. She had breaking news.
Oh, she should do that. Don't break stuff that isn't yours.
Some people sent her pictures of Matt Gaetz engaged in sex with a man.
What?
And she put out there that Matt Gaetz has been caught having sex with a man. And then hours and hours and hours later, when she tweets about it again, she says this: still need to verify the photos, the authenticity of the photos.
So she put out a bunch of unverifiable information for some photos that may or may not exist. That seems a bit slanderous.
Yeah. And she's going on a space. It actually should be going on, I think, right now, or maybe it's already over, with Brian and Ed Krasenstein to talk about it. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right. I got nothing, man. What do you want me to say to that?
You got 2 fucking con artists running this thing, and yes, they are con artists. They will tell you that they're not, but they literally had to give $450,000 to the federal government so that they did not get prosecuted because they were ripping off old people. They should have still been prosecuted.
Fuck yeah.
That was a drop of the ball from our federal government. Good job, guys. $450,000. No, look, we didn't do anything wrong. We just wrote a big fat fucking check to reimburse the people that we stole from, because that's what you do when you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that says innocence to me.
She is absolutely a con woman. We know for a fact that her claims that, yes, I have proof that they were changing these numbers. She had no access to any of those numbers.
Did they threaten to prosecute her for that?
They did prosecute her for stealing shit because she stole stuff from her job.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't know if they got her for the lying part, but they absolutely did for that. Yeah, so you got 3 little fucking douchebags who rob people. The Krasensteins were kicked off Twitter basically for buying followers. But it's all right, you guys, as long as you know to keep an eye out for these people. Everybody else will get fucked over by it, but you guys won't. Do not fall for those idiots.
This is a good time to remind everybody we're brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, and Ring that bell for notifications for whatever that does. And if you're feeling generous, toss us a couple bucks at the Streamlab links pinned at the top of the chat or in the description.
Oh, I got blocked.
Thank you, Star, for dropping the links.
I hate when I get blocked, Jack.
That seems to happen a lot to you.
Was
it something I said?
No, this was me this time. Keldrick, thank you. For people who supposedly support gay folks, the left sure does like to judge non-lefties when they get caught being gay. Not that I believe this story, but that hardly matters. Right. Look, last we heard about Matt Gaetz with their big thing. Oh, he likes to bang underage girls. Because he had reportedly had sex with a 17-year-old prostitute who openly admits that she lied to people about her age. Now,
yeah, and that may or may not have been part of a blackmail scam.
Right. And he still claims he didn't bang her. Come on, Matt, really? But it's not that he actually was looking for underage girls. If the story is correct, he got lied to about her age. He wasn't trying to bang anyone underage, but they actually call him Raping McForehead. That's the left's brilliant name for him.
They're
Raping
really bad at
McForehead.
insults.
Yeah, because raping somebody's the same as paying them for sex. Sure. All right. Maybe he needs to go somewhere and giggle about it. I don't know.
I guess. Or go to a slut walk with his shirt off.
Yeah. So apparently his two types are underage girls and grown men.
That's a very widespread demographic, I guess.
His sexuality's on a spectrum, man.
Yes.
God damn.
I don't really give a shit about who this guy's having sex with. He did not have sex with an underage girl to his knowledge.
Right.
So he wasn't seeking him out. So yeah, she lied to him. If that even really happened, fine. But he also doesn't seem to be gay. If he's gay, I don't give a fuck about that either. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care if he's banging some dude. I really don't. But there's no proof of it. And she basically comes out and says that. I still need to verify the authenticity of these photos. My guess would be probably fake. No, but apparently they were getting intimate somewhere that they didn't think anybody could see them, and they got caught.
So it'd be revenge porn.
It would be, absolutely. Because you're doing it for that reason. What's up, Beast Boy? You and I got to set up a time, man. We got to talk. Because we have a shared interest in mocking Hunter. And there was that Hunter video the other day that I told you about. I'm still going to go over on this stream eventually, where he decided to take shots at Tom McDonald. And I've never seen anybody act that white in my entire life. I'm fairly certain that if Hunter Avalone ever met a black man that wasn't plowing his wife, he'd probably just pee.
That is a sign of submission in most cases when the animals do that. Supplication.
He would start shaking uncontrollably and pee.
What if he was like secretly aroused?
Plus, we have to have our other discussion, Beast Boy. It's the one you and I had the other day about that midget chick. But anyway, let's get back to the show here. Donald Trump's swinging for the fences, man. I don't know if you saw his post from Truth Social that was getting shared around Twitter today. The people who don't like Donald Trump, I mean, you guys have given him so much extra attention. You want him kicked off of Twitter, and then all you do is repost shit that he says over there.
Yeah, well, they have to. Mostly, he's a real estate mogul, not because he owns a lot of properties, but because he lives rent-free in all these people's heads.
I'm guessing he doesn't know he was just talking to you. Who? He knows what I'm talking about. We had a little back and forth on Twitter the other day. It was funny. Donald J. Trump said this. One of the greatest privileges I had as president was firing Deborah Birx. She was that female doctor who was always up there with Fauci at the beginning of the COVID thing. The only thing she had going was nice scarves.
Ouch.
Right? I remember so well when she was lecturing the American people not to leave their homes for Thanksgiving, and then she traveled hundreds of miles to visit her family, who, incredibly, turned her into the police. The only one who thought highly of her was herself. That's a pretty nice smackdown of somebody.
It kind of is, yeah.
And like seemingly out of the blue, because I haven't heard anybody talking about her recently. So just for no reason, he's like, I'm going to smack this bitch around today. Which, I mean, is fine, I guess. But, damn, that was well done. The squad is out there, Jack. They're sticking up for Tortuga to the Geronimo, dead guy in the forest, Atlanta.
Yeah, Manny.
Manny, thank you. Is that his real name? Yeah. I like calling him Tortuga because isn't that like a turtle?
I thought his name meant like small turtle.
Tortuga Tita. Anyway, they're out there demanding an investigation. Demanding an investigation for Tortitty to get investigated for being shot.
Don't shoot at the cops. They don't shoot you back. He shot a cop. I mean, I read the report of one of the articles on that, and they found a handgun there.
Yeah. The thing is, Jack, in real life, that's what happened. In their life, that's remember that they don't believe in reality. Corey Bush said this last week. Police killed Tortitty, a climate justice protester in Atlanta. You mean a violent trespasser?
Yeah.
Don't you guys, weren't they on about trespassing not that long ago?
Yeah, I guess squatting on the land isn't something they care about too much.
A climate protester who was defending a forest set to be destroyed for Cop City, the police training center. I'm calling for an independent investigation into their death. It was a guy.
No, he has they, them pronouns.
I don't care. He was a guy.
Oh, yeah.
There must be accountability. And Taliba Talib, shitbag Talib out here in Michigan. I echo Representative Bush's call for an independent investigation. We demand justice for Tortitty. I stand with the forest protectors righteously fighting Cop City. Nuts ask who. Okay, Nuts, here's what happened. There's this place down there in Atlanta. We talked about it not long ago. It's a little foresty area. 100 or 150 acres, something like that.
Yeah, it used to be the farmland that went to the local jail, where they would have prisoners go out and work the land. And it eventually became like a wildlife type area, like a metro park almost.
So they're tearing it down to build a police training center, and Antifa decided no. And they moved up into the trees like the dirty hippie pieces of shit they are. Mm-hmm. And if anybody tries to come in there, they get very violent with them, including the other day when the police went in to clear the place out, and one of them shot at a cop.
Yeah, think of them as dirty, freaky Ewoks.
Did Monkey just call him Toe Titty? No, but I'm going to now. I called him Tor Titty, but Toe Titty's much better. So Toe Titty shoots at the police who, I don't know if you know this, are armed, and if you shoot at them, will shoot back. And they killed him. And so the little Antifa shitbags burned down Atlanta the other night, or a car in it, and caused a lot of damage. And Talib and them are like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys killed a violent criminal. It's funny, if you read the stories about them or about this in the mainstream media, every story says the same stupid thing. The unarmed man. Bullshit. He fired at cops.
They recovered a handgun. A cop got shot. He went to the ICU. I think he's still in bad condition over there, by the way.
Yeah. But no, Toe Titty over here. Nah, man, he's just an innocent little boy. I stand against the police. Hey, forest protectors righteously fighting Cop City. Wouldn't this be, I mean, isn't that kind of a form of insurrection? That is a government place that's being built there.
They did declare it an autonomous zone. Also, technically, they are taking that land from Atlanta, which makes it stolen land.
Stolen land. Yeah, you guys don't listen to your own rhetoric sometimes, do you?
They do. They're hypocrites that don't care because they're stupid.
The worst part is the way I understand it down there in the Forbidden Forest, AOC died like 66 times that day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was rough.
That Ring of Resurrection is probably paying off, though.
It was a personal best. Fucking, I hate these people. Making this guy out into a hero. He's not.
Yeah, he's some shitbag squatter that was probably homeless and doing drugs, and he fucking shot at a cop. Shot actually hit, too.
Yeah.
Put the cop in the hospital, and they returned fire, and they're upset about this. Fuck you.
Yeah, the conspiracy theory from the Antifa side is it was a cop who actually shot that cop.
That's the dumbest fucking thing. They have body cams down there, right?
Yeah. Speaking of body cams, a judge has ordered that the body cam footage from Paul Pelosi's incident be released.
Yeah, I have an article on that.
It hasn't been released yet, and we were asked on Twitter if we think it's gonna be, and here's what I say to that. It depends on what it actually shows and which news outlets get it.
Yeah, and whether or not any of that gets redacted for personal safety or some bullshit like that.
Because here's something we were told. That guy was in his underwear. What we weren't told is whether or not Paul Pelosi was in his.
I think they were both in their underwear. Because when you have a one-on-one trial by combat thing, like a duel, it's best to strip down to your underwear first.
Oh, like gladiators.
Grease up a little bit and then wrestle.
Well, the Paul Pelosi body cam just disappeared. Yeah, that wouldn't be. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, yeah, we were going to release it. We just can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, whoopsie.
What else do we have? Oh, the National Archives is thinking about sending letters to all living former presidents and vice presidents. This should be for people in Congress too, given what we know about Joe Biden.
Yeah,
asking them to go through their records and make sure they have no classified material.
Let me just hold my breath on that happening.
Well, it's weird that they say that because that's important. They say all living presidents. One of our living presidents is Barack Hussein Obama, who, according to the National Archives, all of his papers were given to them, and they gave him back 30,000 of them, which he was allowed to have. And that's what sits in a library in Illinois. Well, in a
so that's
warehouse.
One like in a department store somewhere.
Yeah,
an abandoned department store.
Yeah, it's the stuff housed in Chicago.
Yeah,
which begs the question: why aren't you guys sure he doesn't?
Maybe they should send an FBI SWAT team in to check it out.
They really should. And it begs the question: if it turns out that Barack Hussein Obama has some classified documents, does that mean the National Archives passed them to him?
It would appear that way.
That would be a federal offense.
It would be, yes.
That would be what Snowden's hiding overseas for.
Yes, it would.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I heard that. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. All right, it's time to go back to video. We got some good video for you today, Jack.
Uh-oh.
I should have told you we have a really full show. I will try to get everything there, but we do have a really full show tonight.
Not worried about it.
Because of people like this. Have you seen this clip?
Let me switch screens here.
Please tell me you haven't.
Oh, I only saw the tweet that went with it. I didn't.
Good.
I don't think I watched the whole thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Idiot on the Show number 1,536,003. I think I haven't kept a real good track, Jack. He's going to teach us about reparations.
America has about 10 major exports. Gold.
The Beast Boy says this guy's a clown. Hey, don't get ahead of the story.
America has about 10 major exports: gold, oil, water, electricity.
All right. I have never looked that up. Do we export a lot of water?
I don't know. We're surrounded by a lot of water.
And we do
Do
have
we
a lot of
export
water.
electricity?
We get a 25% cut permanently. This is perpetual. Every time America makes a dollar, we get 25 cents of that dollar.
He's talking about black people. Now, I'm not sure how that gets broken up for, like, Beast Boy. I don't know how much of that quarter you get, but he's getting it for you, man. He's getting it for you.
But does this guy believe that they get a quarter out of every dollar America makes?
No, that's what he thinks should happen.
Oh, okay. It's a reparations thing.
It's a
Okay.
reparations. Yes. Yes.
As part of the reparations payment, American Africans, 60% of us make up 10 states.
I will say this. I at least like the way he said that, American Africans, because at least America came in the first part of that. I think it should just be Americans that you don't need to separate it. But if you're going to, at least put America first. And that's not a Trump thing. I've always thought that. Thank you, Corey. Poland Springs in his Maine. Poland Springs is in Maine. Okay. What's Poland Springs?
Probably the water people that make the water,
Oh, okay.
like bottled water.
There's one of those here in Michigan somewhere too. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, is that the one that just gets it off tap? Because there's one of them. It's just tap water.
B says, I'm American, never been to Africa. Yeah. Look, I don't mind people who are like proud of their like I will tell you that I am of Irish and Indian descent, but I don't insist that you hyphenate American for me. American, Irish, Indian. That you don't need to. I'm just American. But I'm white, so nobody ever does that to me, right?
Yeah. Well,
They only do that to you guys. I don't know why. Like, hey, let's make them separate. Let's make them separate.
it really is kind of a way to make people othered.
Yeah, exactly. Make them othered. That's how you bring society together. Fucking assholes. But I do want to give him credit for at least putting America as the top one there.
All 10 of the states that represent 60% of us are seaboarding states. We should automatically control the port so we know what's coming in, what's going out, and we also get a percentage of that. But here's my biggest.
All right, I'll caught that. Not only should black people they should get 25% and control the ports. Dude, if you're only getting 25% and you control everything, you are really bad at business. Like, ridiculously bad at business.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, that requires a lot of work too. Like, is he gonna conscript black people into working at the ports? Because that sounds
I guess.
suspiciously like slavery.
Yeah, sorry, Beast Boy. You're not going to be able to make fun of Hunter anymore. You're going to be busy working the ports, homie.
Yeah, you're gonna be a longshoreman on the dock, apparently. Jeez.
No more fun for you.
That job blows too, especially in the winter.
But don't worry. You're going to get, how many black people in America? 12 million?
I think it's 13%.
No. Yeah, 13%. It's like 24 million Americans, right?
Something like that.
You're going to, for your hard labor, you're going to get 1/240 millionth of a quarter every time. That's good. That's good right there, man.
I don't know. Even with a quarter out of every dollar, can you think of the taxes you'd be paying on that? Astronomical.
42 million or 42 million. Okay, so that would be 1/42 millionth of a quarter. You gonna be rich, son.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a bad deal to me. I have a feeling this would somehow backfire horribly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So I wasn't trying to step over you. I was trying to back that up, and it started playing.
Oh, no problem. Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. America came in the first part of that. Monkey, January 25th, 2023.
So we colonize.
We finished. We finished.
So we know what's coming in, what's going out, and we also get a percentage of that. But here's my biggest issue with reparations 3.
I will make this deal. Look, as a white guy, if you want to do all the work and give me 75%, all right.
It seems kind of fucked up to make black people in charge of the ports, though, because that's where all the slave ships came in. That's why there's a high percentage of black people in those states with massive ports, like Louisiana, Memphis, Tennessee. Those were port cities for the distribution of slaves. It's kind of fucked
Jack,
up to make them go back to the site of their trauma to work it.
this dude is trying to help me get 75% of every dollar that comes through U.S. ports without me having to do fuck all. I'm all right with it.
Yeah. Do the Asians and Latinos get a percentage of any of this? Like,
Nah, man.
Or is it just 75% to the white people, 25% to the black, and fuck everybody else?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, well, all right then. I don't know what to respond to that with.
I gotta say, I love his jacket, man. It looks like high fashion in the 70s. Look, I enjoy that black men wear flashy suits and stuff, but not that you look like a clown, homie. You should put on something that actually looks nice. That looks like a picnic tablecloth.
Wait, do we have to give San Francisco to the Chinese then?
No, we don't. No Asians, no Indians, no Hispanics. What are you talking about, man? It's
Well,
just
if
us
we're
and the
handing
blacks.
out ports to people that were oppressed,
no.
China gets San Francisco Bay because that's
No.
where most of the Chinese came in. They literally had a thing called Shanghaiing people there.
Black people and white people, we're gonna split it 75-25. That's it. Nobody else gets a cut of this pie, man.
Do we give like entire cities to Mexico?
Nope. See, you keep trying to cut the pie. No. It's already been cut.
I'm very confused by this argument. This is silly. Although I do agree, his suit jacket is kind of cool.
That suit jacket is ugly as fuck. Who said that?
It's very 70s. No, I think I could pull that off, but a lumberjack in court would wear that.
A lumberjack in court, I could see.
Yeah. Like Matt Christensen, if he ever went to court, he better wear that.
No, I'm actually disappointed in him because I do like black men styles. I could never pull it off because it wouldn't work with my white skin, but I love really flashy suit jackets. And I think it's probably because I never look good in it that I appreciate it so much.
That's why when white dudes wear gold, I always think that they're trying to sell me something because it doesn't match.
No,
white
it doesn't
people
go
wear
well.
silver.
And for anybody out there who disagrees with us, of course, all beauty's in the eye of the beholder thing, but I think black guys get away with the flashier suit because it does go better with their skin tone.
Oh, absolutely.
And white people look ridiculous in it.
That's the whole thing of fashion, though, is some people look good in things and others don't.
It's like those cute blossom hats. Some chicks can pull it off and other chicks look like, they stole something.
Yeah, most of the time I see people wearing those, they're really fat chicks. So I used to call them the fat hat.
Let me get these real fast. Corey, thank you. Is this the new 3/5 compromise? Fuck. And Comrade, thank you. Shouldn't natives ports instead? No. Stop trying to break this up further. Me and this guy got a deal going on. Stop it. We are only 32 seconds into this. Let's finish some of this.
This is your fault.
I'm sorry. He's so fucking stupid. This is just dumb. I agree with Jack. I always wear silver. I'm white too. I look really good in black. I just do. I look really good in white as well. But you start adding other colors and I just wash out.
Yeah, but if you wear like a black suit and you have like a silver tie clip on a black tie, looks really good. If you have like a silver handkerchief and a black suit, looks good on a white guy. But a black guy could pull off like pinks and pinstripes. I can't pull off pinstripes. Makes me look like a fucking globe.
You know what pisses me off that black guys can pull off because I really like the color is bright yellow.
Yeah, sunshine yellow, same thing. If you have a dark enough complexion, you can pull that off. You know who can't pull off yellow either? Are American Indians.
Yeah.
But they can pull off turquoise.
All right, I'm going to move past that.
Also, Thai women can pull off turquoise really well too.
Oh yeah. Turquoise looks good on On most women, actually.
Yeah. Well, the more you have like a light brown caramel look, like Latinas and Filipinos and Thai chicks and some Indonesians, they can really pull off a lot of that color spectrum too. I think that's the most versatile color tone.
Cirque says because black goes with everything. It does not. It does not go with this suit this man's wearing.
I disagree. I think it's kind of unique looking, like he's a lumberjack in court.
I didn't say it wasn't unique. I just said it was ugly as shit.
I don't think it's ugly. I think it's just different. I think you're a
Greta
monster.
Thunberg is unique. She's also ugly as shit. I'm just saying. She looks like her parents were drinking during conception.
1, psychological damages. I'm not hearing enough of the reparations talking heads discuss enough about the psychological damages.
Oh, this gets good.
know you can get far more from what you're owed psychologically than you can ever get for 243 years of unpaid labor on the plantation.
All right.
All those people have been dead for 100 years. What are you talking about?
He is absolutely correct that in our legal system, you will get more for pain and suffering, psychological damage, than you would for actual injury. He's not wrong about that.
Yeah.
But if you want to go 246 years, 243 years, whatever number he sprawled out there, you're going to have to go talk to the British. You need to talk to them. We had slavery here. We had slavery in the United States. In the United States, since it became the country of the United States as the founding document of the Constitution. I mean, if you want to go back to the Articles of Confederation, we can even go to there. Just about 100 years. It was actually well under. It's like 80 years. 80 yeyears. That's what you get from us, all right? The rest you need to go talk to the Brits about because it wasn't us.
Well, the British, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, most of the Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, you're gonna have to a bunch of tribes in Africa. You're gonna have to go talk to, like the ones from the Woman King movie that were selling people they conquered. How far back do you go? Do you go to the source of the supply chain?
Nope, just here. That's what he's talking about.
Just see Whitey. Got it.
All right.
I am so tired of this reparations bullshit. You're not getting reparations because nobody that was a slave is alive today unless you're talking about human trafficking, in which case it's mostly Asians and people from like Guatemala.
And Eliza Bleu. Eliza Bleu.
Oh, and Eliza Bleu, apparently.
She got trafficked on Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't discount her.
Oh, and the Dutch. Yeah, good one. But this is fucking bullshit.
Look, and I agree with you on that, but he's about to say something that's going to change this conversation entirely.
Oh, is he going to bring up the Slavs that were enslaved by many Europeans? Or
nope.
The Gypsies? Or / Romani, whatever.
He's going to bring up white girls.
Are they Jewish white girls during like the Second World War?
No. So you're still talking slavery. You got to stop that.
Oh.
You got to stop the slavery. It's going to completely change the conversation. I promise you. I promise. I wouldn't lie to you. I mean, I would, but only for humor. But I'm not here.
The psychological damage is what affects us the most. Every time you see a black man with a white woman, that's psychological damage.
What?
Every time you see a black man with a white woman, that is psychological damage.
Jesus Christ, that is incredibly racist. Also, interracial marriage has been legal since like, I don't know, like the 50s, early 60s in a lot of states.
Mike, I asked on Twitter, like, does this guy work for the Klan? Because that is some serious Klan talking point right there.
That is absolutely a Klan talking point. Jesus, that's fucked up.
Black guys dating white chicks causes this guy psychological damage. No wonder he's so bad at math and business. He's too many damn black guys with white chicks.
Does he want to force black guys to marry only black women?
I mean, look, there's a lot of white people who believe whites should only, interbreed with themselves, but it's not just white people who are like that. I'm gonna look crazy walking down the street with Scarlett Johansson smiling hard as hell. Dude, if you don't do a video on this, I'm gonna be very disappointed. And if you have, I just missed it and I'll watch it later.
First of all, he's trying to keep me from banging Asians, and I disapprove of that greatly. 'Cause, sorry, white ladies, sometimes you age like a brick.
I kind of want to
hit the
find
wall.
his Twitter and just send him pictures of black guys with white chicks.
Yeah.
I think that'd be funny as shit.
That's seriously fucked up.
And how black? Does Patrick Mahomes count?
Or Barack Obama?
Well, Brock's with a black man, so
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
okay.
True. But technically she's married to somebody that's part white because he's half white.
If you need it, Beast Boy, if you haven't grabbed it, it is on my timeline. I can send it to you too if you need me to.
No,
All right.
What?
Go ahead.
We wouldn't have Tiger Woods and all the hilarity from that drama. There's so many people that are mixed race origin that he's just shitting on here. This is some racial purity shit. This is really
oddly,
bothersome.
You would think that his next point might be black women with white guys, but that just goes right past.
There's more.
He still has more to say, but that is not his next point, which would be the salient point next, right? If seeing a black man with a white chick is just too traumatizing, seeing a white guy with a black chick should be too.
This is some hidden colors nonsense.
All right, let's finish this idiot. We got a little over 20 seconds left.
Every time you see a black woman with a blonde wig on her head, that's psychological damage.
So he doesn't go to black woman with white guy. Black woman with a blonde wig is psychological damage to this motherfucker.
Well, I agree that wigs are weird. But unless you're
traumatizing?
Traumatizing? No. I think it'd be more traumatizing to the Indian women whose hair goes into those weaves.
What about a black woman who actually dyes her hair blonde? Do you think he has to go pull on it to see if it's traumatizing or not?
No, I think he probably would say that's traumatizing adjacent.
This is the weakest, thinnest skinned motherfucker I've ever met.
So many people are like this now, though, that that hurts my feelings because you look like somebody else. It's not like they're bleaching their skin like Michael Jackson was said to have done. I don't know if he actually did that or not, but it's weird. But that type of shit, okay, I could understand you'd find that creepy, but it's not traumatizing. Are people stalking you, trying to turn you white? I don't understand what's going on here. This is just some racial purity nonsense.
It is. It really is. Beast, I'll throw you the clip in DMs after we're done watching it here.
Every time you see a little black boy or girl playing with a white doll instead of a black doll, that's psychological damage.
Jack, and this is true. One of the coolest moments as a grandpa was we went to Walmart and Little Butt went to pick out a doll. And she immediately grabbed a black doll. And I was like, that is cool. She wasn't just looking for a doll like her. She saw that doll, really liked it, did not give a shit about the color of it. That's where we should be. And I do understand that there has not been representation in dolls, which is a really stupid thing to even have to say. But it's not like it used to be. There are tons of fucking black dolls out there.
Oh, yeah. This is in the 80s. Even then, they had like 2.
What was it? There was a doll when my daughter was young that all the girls wanted. I forget who it was. I forget what it was. In our local store, which is a very white place, the black version of that doll could not be found. Or sorry, was all you could find. There was no white versions of the doll anywhere. You know where we ended up getting it? Detroit. Because in Detroit, they were having problems getting the black doll.
Doing like back alley exchanges. I
Yes!
get a black one for a white one.
It's like, hey, if you guys want the black doll, come up here. We have tons of them.
Hey, if those were named Eliza, that's trafficking.
It is trafficking, indeed. But that's a true story. We found it in Detroit because it's a blacker area. And if you want the white doll, you had to go there because all of the black ones sold out. They had them. They just sold out.
This is fucking stupid.
And I would argue these days because of the way stuff is done, like that doll the black doll got sent here and nobody bought him here. Good job. There's probably more black dolls in circulation than white dolls, or at least easier for somebody to get a black doll than a white doll these days. We're not talking about when I was a kid. When I was a kid, the guy has a point.
Yeah.
But this is 2023. Yes, I'm current yearing you
Look,
because it matters.
Yeah, in this case, it does matter because they're producing more products with different melanin contents.
Yes.
You're seeing more Asian dolls, more black dolls. My concern is that we're going to get big fatty dolls, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants a Heffalump doll.
They've tried that, and they never sell, so they have to cancel them. Remember Realistic Barbie?
Yeah.
That lasted a long time.
There was some off-brand that made fatty fat dolls, and that they were like $40 a piece, and they looked disgusting.
You know how much it is to feed those? All right, we got 15 or 11 seconds of this minute and 15 left, so let's finish this.
When you see a black man take the life of another black man, that's psychological damage. America owes us more.
I would agree. That should be psychological damage.
Yeah,
Anytime
somebody
people are being killed.
Yeah, whenever you see somebody killed in front of you, that's traumatizing. I'd agree with that.
Or for the psychological Holocaust that she can ever.
All right. The psychological Holocaust. Let's go over the things he named. These are the psychological damages in this psychological Holocaust. Black guys dating white girls. Black women having blonde wigs. Black children playing with white dolls. And black on black crime. Well, black on black murder specifically.
How is that Whitey's fault?
Well, I don't understand how that's a Holocaust. I don't understand how a black woman with a blonde wig is a Holocaust. I need that explained. But anyway, yeah, that's him. That's God, that is painful to watch again a second time. Hang on, I got to send this over to Beast Boy real quick. Yeah, that's I told you it was going to take a turn, Jack. I told you. I don't lie to you.
There's too many of these race grifters out there. They get way too much airtime, and I don't understand why dividing people this way is seen as productive in any stretch of the imagination, because this is not helping anyone. If anything, you're making people hate you because you're trying to take their money by blaming them for shit that happened 150, 200 years ago. It's disgusting. You're just a hustler.
Or, I mean, why in the ever-loving fuck you're going to be throwing such a fit over a wig, man? I get what you're saying. I do, and that's an important point. But this man is traumatized by wigs. How do you take him seriously after that?
Some of those, some people that wear costumes are creepy. Drag queens.
If he, he said, every time you see a clown in a wig, I'd probably agree with him because clowns are creepy as shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But he's talking about a black woman wearing a blonde wig. Oh my God. What about, I bet straight hair on a black woman drives him insane. That bitch got relaxer. Fat man, thank you. Hey, Jack, I got a Japanese princess Barbie. Interested?
Not in a doll, no. But if you have a Japanese princess, then we can talk. The doll I was thinking of is called Lamely, Lammy. And it's this like fat girl doll. It's like Captain Frumpy that hangs out at the soccer arena with her kid. So if you're looking for a fat doll for your kids, there you go.
Spell it again.
Lammy. They're like $40.
Wow. It's hard to tell what size those are.
They're like Barbie sized dolls, but it's like just a fat, frumpy soccer mom figure.
Oh my God.
See it?
Yeah. And, look, these aren't as fat as I thought they were going to be, Jack, but
They're not like, well, they're fat by my standards. So
I don't know if you guys can see this. Lamely period party. These are accessories you can get for your doll to take care of their periods.
yeah, it's a whole line of stuff.
Look, they got little different colored maxi pads with wings.
Well, yeah, because you have to raise shields.
Oh God, this is a real thing. This is a real fucking thing.
You think I was joking?
Well, you hadn't mentioned the period party.
Well, it ruined the surprise.
And it comes with a book about periods.
Duh.
Wait a second. Is this like... Oh, look at that. The one little part is written on a maxi pad.
Yeah, with wings.
Oh my God. Fun way to explain the menstrual cycle to kids. Yeah, that's Jesus fucking Christ. What have we done to this world? What have we done to this world? All right. I mean, I guess. Sure, why not? Sometimes I hate my job, Jack. I wouldn't see this kind of shit if I wasn't doing this. Thank you, the fat man, or thank you, the fat man. A real woman in 2023. LOL. Nope. Just Barbie big guy. This is fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird.
Well, to be fair, if I knew you hadn't heard of this, I would have told you about it a lot sooner.
I'd known that they'd made different fat girl dolls before.
Yeah.
Even Mattel tried to do it. I mean, there was a
Pervy Barbie.
Yeah, there was a Barbie that was made to be proportionate. Proportionate to who? Whatever fat girl was designing it. Yeah. I was not expecting them to have little pads made for Barbie dolls. That's ridiculous.
To be fair, they're for Lamely.
Well, fair enough, but I know little girls like playing with the little doll that pees and stuff. I've never heard of a little girl being like, "Mom, what I really want is a doll that bleeds all over herself."
Oh no, this is the mom saying you need to play with this type of doll so you can learn about that time of the month, honey.
Oh, I wanted the Fox News story. Did I not? Oh shit. Damn it. Hang on. I got to find a story real fast. Because we're going to talk about a TikToker who lost her job.
I saw this one.
See if I can find, because I think this is the one I read, because yes, this is the one. All right. So, Jack, we got to stop letting young people teach. We really do.
Yeah, well, they need to screen that stuff a lot better.
Massachusetts preschool teacher fired after libs of TikTok exposed her for allegedly filming OnlyFans content in the school.
Mm-hmm.
A Massachusetts preschool teacher was fired from her job this week after the superintendent received photos showing her allegedly creating content for her OnlyFans account in a school bathroom. And if we come over here, we can actually see the content that she made. She went in the school bathroom and took pictures of her boobies. She's not in trouble for having an OnlyFans. A lot of these times you'll see teacher fired for having OnlyFans. Anybody telling you that shit about this chick is wrong. She did it on school property. A representative for the viral Twitter account Libs of TikTok contacted Wolf Swamp Road schools in Long Meadow, Massachusetts, notifying them that a preschool teacher named Brianna Percy appeared to have filmed adult content for her OnlyFans site while on school grounds. Like you do.
Yeah, I mean, when in doubt, whip them out. Got yourself a rock and roll band.
Libs of TikTok, whose goal is to expose far-left ideologues in America's classrooms with reposted content, provided the school with the photos from an OnlyFans account, which reportedly belongs to Percy, after receiving a tip about the teacher's alleged side hustle. In one photo, Percy appears to have posted a photograph of herself in a school bathroom with her bare chest, along with the caption, "Naughty at work." "My jaw is on my desk," the secretary reportedly told Libs of TikTok when contacted with the information. Actually, that's a little wrong. What happened is she contacted the school about it, and they fired her, and she called back to ask about it. She called to ask the superintendent, and the person who answered the phone is the one who said that at that time. So it wasn't, right when they contacted them with it. School superintendent told Libs of TikTok in a follow-up call that Percy no longer works for the Longmeadow Public Schools. She has since been removed from the Wolf Swamp Road School staff section of their website. Libs of TikTok tweeted about the update on their page. Now, this is the one I actually want to talk about. This story comes less than 3 months after an Arizona middle school science teacher. Oh, wait, I need to stop. Fox News, you have the second worst links of any news site out there. Second worst. The worst, and I forget which one it is, when there's hyperlinks like this, it literally goes to the definition of whatever word they have hyperlinked.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who that is, but I hate those fucking people.
Yeah.
This here, you think the story comes less than 3 months after Arizona middle school, and that's a link right there, that it would be a link to that story. It's not. It's a link to all stories about Arizona schools. Same thing with this down here, Lake Havasu City Police Department. That takes you to their law and crime section. That should be. And I went and looked. They actually have a story about this middle school Arizona teacher. That should have been what was linked. You guys suck at this. I shouldn't have to go look up the story. You have a link there, motherfucker. You want people staying at your site, reading the stuff. It's called a rabbit hole that people go down, and they just follow the links. What's wrong with you? I will do that job for you for a couple $100,000. I'm just trying to be helpful. Things like this really do irritate me. I had a rant out loud sitting here alone in my room when I noticed that earlier, Jack. Anyhow, story comes less than 3 months after an Arizona middle school science teacher was forced to resign. No, she wasn't. When her students stumbled across her pornographic OnlyFans videos. The Lake Havasu City Police Department said it received an anonymous tip about a Thunderbolt teacher engaging in pornography, and some of the images depicted her in a classroom-style setting. Police said in a statement that the image was presumably taken on school property, prompting an investigation into whether any laws were broken. Here's my problem with that part. She admitted it. There's a video of her out there where she whines about how her and her teacher husband, because Arizona is the lowest paying teacher state in the union, and they got kids they have to bring up. She had to make porn, you guys. She had to.
She couldn't move.
She had to. And look, she blocked it in Arizona. So it was blocked. So nobody in Arizona should be able to see it because apparently she doesn't know what a VPN is. But she blocked it. And it's not fair that she shouldn't have her job. By the way, she quit. She quit because she got a lot of blowback for this because students found it. Now, she claims that teachers were passing this off to students, and it was just them who they were all the bad ones. She was just trying to make ends meet, man. And she actually says that I made a mistake by recording it in the school after hours. So she flat out admits she did it in the school.
That was dumb. No, she quit because if she got fired, her teaching license might be in some kind of jeopardy. And it would go against her getting hired somewhere else.
She said, it was a mistake to do that, but what was I supposed to do? I have a family to feed. All right.
With those big old milkers.
I hear you.
I mean, what?
How about this? don't shoot it in the school. That's what she got in trouble for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little weird to film your nakedness in a elementary school.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, and I haven't gone looking. She ended up losing her her OnlyFans account over this, and she's blocked from making any more because apparently one of OnlyFans's terms of service is not to shoot it in public at all, which is exactly what she did.
Well,
This
she also
teacher,
didn't have permission to film there, which is a terms of service violation.
this teacher here, even though she's in a bathroom, she's in a school bathroom. That is a public place. She's likely going to get fired for it. Or
Yeah.
lose her fired from OnlyFans for it. So good job. Good job. But yeah, she just had to film there in that school, Jack, because she had kids to feed. What do you think? We're gonna have sexual relations at home? Really? Like degenerates? Yeah, she got banned from OnlyFans. Not only banned, somehow they have completely blocked her. Apparently, she's tried making more OnlyFans accounts.
That's smart.
It's probably tied to her bank account, so they won't let her do it. Dumbass. Anyhow, both these women are dumb. Young people are dumb, and they're both young. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, well, we didn't show the other chick. Oddly ugly for an Asian woman. Jack, you would not like her.
It happens, man. There's a handful of those horrific nightmare unicorns out there.
She's just unattractive, and I'll leave it at that. And I did see a picture from her porn. She was still dressed, but she tried to do the schoolgirl pigtails, and it just looked bad. It looked like some Star Wars thing. It was really, really bad. Did her husband know she had an OnlyFans? Yes. Apparently he was, well, you have to listen to what she says, and it gives the impression, because she often says, we had to do this. So I'm guessing her husband was involved.
Probably. He was probably either participating or filming.
She claims that he eventually had to step down too because he got so much flack at work for his wife being a whore.
Well, I mean,
tell people to fuck off. I mean, look, ladies, I know it's your body, your choice, and all of that. I get it. But this is the kind of thing I've talked about many times, especially with the advent of the internet. If you're putting naked pictures and stuff out there, there's a good chance it will get back to your family. And I realize you're not trying to get them any kind of hate or anything. And maybe we should be better people and stuff. But I guarantee you that if I was a 10-year-old and there was another 10-year-old I didn't like, and I found out his mom was fucking on screen, I would have rubbed his face in it constantly.
well,
I just
yeah,
would have.
obviously.
I mean, we used to joke your mom's a whore. Now they can give proof. Now I'd be like, no, look, seriously, I have a picture. So you ladies, when you're out there sharing your goody goods with everybody, you might want to be careful. Oh, I did save that site. Oh, Jack. We got to go back for just a second. We got to talk about Eliza one more time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say go back to the future. We're going to talk about Marty again.
No, we're not going to talk about Marty tonight.
Oh, God.
This is the picture I was talking about that she put up. This is her. Nobody else put that up of her. But that world hip hop star video, man. World star hip hop. Whoops. That was somebody abusing her. I am glad. I forgot I'd moved everything over to this other tab, Jack. I knew that was going to cause problems because it's not normal. I don't normally do that. And so there we are. Reminded of the South Park. Is it Cartman's mom? It is Cartman's mom. Yeah. You ladies, I mean, seriously, this is going to come back to bite your children in the ass. If it's found out and the people that work with your husband know, they're going to ridicule him relentlessly. And they're going to give you a bunch of shit, man. Most people still look down on that kind of stuff. Spread your legs carefully. And for the record, you gentlemen out there, if a woman does send you some nudes, don't share them with anybody.
I don't know. Sometimes they're pretty funny.
No, you don't.
Look, you send people nudes, you have to expect they're getting leaked. That's just the law of the land. especially on the internet.
I know that's what happens. I'm saying it shouldn't happen.
Well, lots of things shouldn't happen, but we live in a real world, Monkey, and people spread porn, especially. And plus, there's always a chance somebody's gonna come over to your house, use your computer, or just find them somehow and copy them, and then boom, they're out there. It's gonna happen.
No. See, I'm still talking to the men there. If some woman is kind enough to send you her nakeds, especially when you ask him, you're begging her for them, keep it to your damn self.
I agree in principle, but the reality is somebody's gonna be like, check this whore out. Hey, send me that picture, bro. Okay, dude.
Again, I understand that. I'm trying to change people.
You can't change people. They don't read signs in stores. What makes you think they're gonna not share porn?
If I took your thinking here, I wouldn't do this show at all. Because I know how the world works.
I want to look at porn for free. So
there's plenty of women who put it out there for free.
Yeah, but what if I want to see some other chick who has an OnlyFans?
If some girl's nice enough to actually do that for you, keep that shit to yourself. Don't be sharing that with other people. There's plenty of porn out there.
In principle, I agree with you.
Putin plotting to grab U.S. weapons left behind during Afghan evacuation and seized by Taliban, Kremlin insider claims. How are they going to seize it? The Russian tyrant.
Tell
me how. Make sure you're being completely unbiased here. Is reportedly in the midst of negotiations with the terror group to recognize the Taliban government. Look, guys, this is some of the stuff. You can be mad as fuck at old Vlad. Be mad that he's trying to get this shit. He wouldn't have any option to do that if we didn't leave it there.
Yeah. But like I said on Twitter, hypothetically, if I were a Russian general and wanted to rally the Russian people around the cause, because NATO's handing out tanks like they're fucking candy, apparently, and I wanted to stage a false flag attack on a Russian town or Russian territory, I would do exactly this. You run over, work out a deal with the Taliban to pay them a ridiculous amount of money, offered to recognize them as the legitimate government, get all this equipment, and then use it to stage a false flag.
Snubber, thank you. Late to the party. Did proof come out that she faked her trafficking, or is this related to the drama? She literally claimed that people stealing her picture and using it on Twitter is trafficking. So, yes, she faked trafficking. And yes, it's provable. It's her own words. In return, he's going to recognize the Taliban as the actual owners. In return, Putin wants U.S. equipment snatched from Afghanistan by the Taliban to be handed over, according to Telegram channel General SVR, which claims to be fed information by a Kremlin insider. U.S. troops scrambled to withdraw from Afghanistan in August 2021 as the Taliban surged across the war-torn nation in a matter of weeks. We abandoned it. It's not like we were being chased out. We literally abandoned it.
Well, might as well been chased out. That's how they're going to write it down in their history.
At the same time as seizing regions, militants plundered stocks of Western artillery.
Stocks that were just sitting there in the open.
I don't know. You can call it plundered at that time. I recovered would be a better word.
Found.
We left it.
Just kind of left there.
Look, when we destroy a base on purpose, one that we're getting rid of all this shit, we will destroy anything that we can't take with us. Absolutely destroy it.
That's how it used to be.
We just ran and left everything on the ground. Like, nah, fuck that. Come on. And they had months to plan for this.
Yep. None of that equipment should have been left behind. None of it.
We
should have given up programs.
It's thought Taliban fighters may have stolen
/ found.
Stolen. It was left there for fuck's sake. Oh, it's like saying the belt was stolen from Ralph. They stole as many as 500,000 U.S. weapons and up to 50,000 vehicles, including helicopters. Some of which were not operational, Jack. Some of which look like they did try to at least make them non-operational.
Yeah, I still say the State Department is largely to blame for this catastrophe and Joe's decision to have a fucking photo op.
Joe's photo op. See, all of that, I hear you, but all of that still should have been accomplished. Joe gets into office in January. They know this transfer's coming. It's been scheduled.
Yeah, but we had a lot of incompetent tards in the State Department running this.
Don't discount the Defense Department in this. Those two
there's
together,
plenty of blame to go around to the fucking bureaucrats.
DOD and state fucked this up bad.
This looked a lot like the fall Saigon.
The U.S. spent an estimated $62 billion on weapons and equipments to arm the Afghan army as they propped up the government after toppling the Taliban in 2001. U.S. documents reveal staggering numbers of guns, vehicles, and military gear were handed over to Kabul, only for the Afghan forces to be washed away against the tide of Taliban advance. This is revisionist history, man.
Yeah, absolutely. They folded like a card table.
Yes, we knew what was going to happen to these guys, to the people that we fought. One, not all of them got ran over. Some of them went, yeah, I'm going back to the other side. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And in other instances, we left them high and dry. Like there's one, I forget what the little valley's called, but they're stuck in a valley and the Taliban just surrounds them and slaughters them.
Oh yeah, I remember
because they expected backup from us, which by that time we should have told them that's not going to be coming at this time. We're pulling out. All of it is, everybody knew we were supposed to be out by what, September, right? No, we're supposed to be out in July, and dipshit extended it so he could have his September 11th picture.
Yep.
That all fell apart on him, didn't it? He never did get that picture.
No, but there were good pictures of a Chinook landing on the embassy.
Faithless had pulled all their air support. Yeah, just let those men die.
Yep.
Some of the ones who were loyal to us, and from what I've read about them, good soldiers.
Yeah. They risked everything for us. We abandoned them.
Yep.
Along with a lot of people that had been promised to be brought over here, and people with like green cards and some citizens. And they just fucking left them there. And they got 13 soldiers killed at the airport there because instead of using the military airport, which would have been smart, they used a public airport, got 13 of our service members killed. And when they come over, Biden's looking at his fucking watch.
Yep. But don't worry, he does that all the time, except only that's the only time we've ever seen him do it. Let's see. Estimates state 22,147 Humvees, 634 M117 armored cars, 115 Max Pro trucks, and 549,118 machine guns, assault rifles, and pistols were given over by the U.S. Some 33 Black Hawk helicopters, 23 Super Tucano fighter planes, sure, and 4 C-130 transport planes were also given to the Afghan Air Force. And they'll now all be used against us. Or, I'm sorry, Zelensky.
No, they'll be used probably to stage a false flag. And then Poland.
Other support gear was also given 16,000 pairs of night vision goggles, 162,000 radios, and 8,000 trucks. Much more may have been removed by the U.S. Out of service and been destroyed. Yeah, no, we left plenty. It doesn't matter. And it's just another one of those situations where, hey, we armed people, and look how it turned out for us. We need to stop arming people.
We need to stop giving other people our equipment because it always backfires on us. Every time it's backfired. This is ridiculous. They left all this stuff there, and now it's going to end up in the Russians' hands, which I have no doubt this is legitimately going to happen. And it should probably worry us quite a bit.
Devil, you okay? Said look down because his arm felt wet and he was covered in blood. Dude, what'd you do?
Damn.
I've done that before, not realized I was bleeding, and like figured out because you see blood on something that wait, that had to come from somewhere.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, hope you're all right, my friend. Paul Pelosi attacked Bodio. Paul Pelosi attacked body camera footage to be released following a court order. The body camera. Go ahead.
We kind of talked about this a little bit already.
Yeah. We'll just hit again. I mean, not everybody was here at the time, and we only briefly touched it. For the record, there's also a fight right now going on in Georgia because the special grand jury is over, and they want the report from the grand jury released. And the what's her name? That idiot prosecutor down there. She's fighting it, saying, no, if we put this out, it could damage potential defendants.
Why is the prosecutor worried about the defendants?
How? Well, even then, anything that they have to turn over to the defense anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looks like skin on my upper arm cracked and it's still, oh, dude. Get that fixed and then lotion. Take the great gift our black friends have given us and use lotion. Just because you don't see ash doesn't mean you're not ashy. Just throwing that out there.
Butter is a miracle worker.
But yeah, I forget what her name is. The chick down in Arizona, or not Arizona, in Atlanta. She's fighting the release of this. The press is asking for it. The judge is going to be deciding in the next couple of days. Even the grand jury themselves have come out and said this needs to be released. But she's like, no, that can't get released. The special grand jury, not the same as a grand jury. The special grand jury had no powers to actually indict people. And she's saying that maybe she's going to use that information at trial, which again, you still have to let them know. So it's not like you can keep it secret. The only people you're keeping it secret from that could cause any damage is the rest of us, which the only damage there would be to you.
What case is this?
This is them looking into possible election interference by Trump and co.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Q, thank you so much. I've raised about the Afghan extraction elsewhere, but I do need to point out that it was normal practice, if idiotic, to use civilian airlines on the return trip to the States. Source, my own deployment in 2007, 2008. I don't have a problem with flying people out on commercial airlines. I don't. But when we left, what would they say? It's either 3 or 6 C-130s.
Mm-hmm.
Those probably should have came with us.
But they could have directed all the airline traffic to the base where we could have had security.
Yep.
Because
And
the
instead
base
they
had a
did
big fucking fence around it.
Yep. And I hear you. I know that's what happens. My dad came home on civilian flights all the time. But again, there's ways to still do that. And no offense, but your deployment's ending at 07, 08. The war is still going on. This is us leaving.
Yeah, but Bagram's was a much more secure facility than a public airport.
Sure. And again, this was just handled so piss poor so that Biden could have that fucking photo op. Anyhow,
Well, he handled it poorly because they're incompetent. Joe's incompetent. Everybody he hired's incompetent.
It was incompetence. So much of it was incompetence. Even if I were granting all of it should have went out of the civilian airport, there were still ways to do that. It shouldn't have looked like a mad dash rush to the exit because the stage is on fire.
So Great White concert.
Right. But thank you for the donation. And it is a good point that they do go out commercially. All right. The police body camera footage of the attack of Paul Pelosi will be released to the public per an order from a San Francisco judge because there's no good reason not to release it. None. It is in the public interest. Hell, the Democrats tried to use it as a fucking campaign slogan. The order came after a sustained effort from a press coalition, according to Politico. The coalition includes the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, San Francisco Chronicle, the Press Democrat, CNN, Fox News, CBS, ABC, NBC, and KQED. I don't know what that is, according to the Associated Press. So there you go. They're going to be releasing it, and hopefully we get to see what happened. And like I said, it's going to depend on what it's like. If it shows, what some of us think happened, if it brings up some of the questions we've had, you will see very little of it on the New York Times and all of that.
Yeah.
Fox News will play it over and over and over again. So, well, I mean, Tucker will certainly cover it. Hannity will cover it. Ingram will cover it. It'll be on there. Fox and Friends will cover it. They'll have a little bit of fun with it. But it'll be suppressed everywhere else. And as much views as they get, that doesn't, Fox News doesn't have the power they should have with the audience they have. And it's largely because they're mostly lefties over there now anyway.
Yeah.
Gutfield, yeah, he'll have a fucking field day. You're right, Pyrus. Oh, good God. I was told this was taken care of, Jack. They had special programs that were stopping all of this shit.
Oh.
Analysis, mind-blowing illegal immigration under Biden approaching 1% of the total U.S. population.
What?
3 million people. Well, like 3.5 million? President Joe Biden's administration may bring a record 2.7 million illegal aliens to the United States-Mexico border this year, new analysis projects. For 2021, Stephen Koppitz, with Princeton policy advisor, accurately projected that about 2 million border crossers and illegal aliens would be apprehended. Likewise, he correctly projects that. How can you say he correctly projects? I'm sorry, I have trouble with that wording.
I don't know, dude. I'm not the editor.
You can't know that he correctly projected it until the actual numbers come in.
They called Miss Cleo.
He projects that more than 2.3 million border crossers and illegal aliens will be apprehended in 2022, for a total of about 4.2 million since Biden took office. As illegal immigration... Oh, that said correctly projected. My reading was bad there.
What? No.
And illegal immigration hit a monthly record high in December of 2022 with more than 250,000 apprehensions at the border. Now, see, this is one of the problems with illegal immigration. They only ever talk about what was apprehended.
Yeah.
He writes, with December's apprehensions exceeding expectations, we increase our calendar and fiscal year 2023 forecast for Southwest border apprehensions to 2.7 million, which would represent a new record by 400,000 over fiscal and calendar year 2022. And here's a little chart of illegal immigration. And remember, this is caught at the border. And as you can see, for 2020, after Biden takes office, it jumps way the fuck up. Way the fuck up.
Yeah. Faithless said he thought at least double for the gotaways. I would guess it's a lot higher than that. You're talking about major demographic shifts here. Because if this is what they know they caught, or what they know came in, imagine how many got away with it. And not just this past year, but I mean, we're looking at like 40 million illegals at this rate.
Dude, we know this. I always go back to this story because it's one that blows my mind. There was a truck of illegal immigrants found in a Walmart parking lot
Yep, there were like 50 people in there.
There were more than 60. Yeah,
Oh, 60.
dead. Because they were left in the hot sun in the back of a semi truck. You can tell me all about how you're catching illegals at the border, but how in the flying fuck did that truck get across the border? Don't tell me there's not others that are slipping by.
Yeah.
You're catching.
Oh, sorry.
They're catching the ones that are walking up to the border and going, yeah, we want in. That's what they're calling catching now.
Those are the distraction ones too, because every time a group does that, there's another group that runs by with drugs usually or arms, and they go further because the Border Patrol's tied up with this group. And that doesn't include the train that comes through from Mexico where people just sit on top of it. You've seen that footage before, right?
Yep.
It also a plot point in Terminator Dark Fate, by the way.
It also doesn't talk about how many tunnels are found all the time.
Yep. And there's
long ass, well-constructed tunnels running under our border.
Yeah, and that's mostly for like drugs and priority people, usually gang members and terrorists. But they've caught terrorists at the border a dozen times now. There's all kinds of people slipping through that they're not aware of. There's got to be at least 30 million illegals in this country now.
Yep.
And probably a lot more than that even. I would guess closer to 40 is the real number that they're never going to tell us about.
Hey,
they're all leeching off our social services.
Look, Jack, somebody's got to pick the fruit. Nancy Pelosi told me so.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. And then like Faithless said, you've got the people that don't go home after they overstay their visa. That's actually a tiny amount of the illegals here, but they're usually the ones that are the spies.
Yeah, this is absolutely asinine.
We're doing nothing.
And remember, part of Biden's plan, because they had all those. We read this plan the other night. Is that what we'll do? Is we'll let them in. And then if they come to court, then we'll see if they actually have a claim. And as long as they ask us first, we'll still let them do that. We'll bring them into the country while we wait.
Whatever. None of these people are ever going to go home. At some point, somebody is going to run on a platform of how much these people are damaging the country, and it's going to start to look like a certain star population over in Germany many, many decades ago.
When you change the rules so that they're not breaking them, you can't claim, look, we stopped rule breakers. Like,
oh, sure you can.
You can't say, okay, we legalized drugs, therefore we stop people from illegally buying drugs. Well, sure, but you didn't get rid of the drug problem.
Monkey, I'm non-binary. New class of citizen.
You can't, that's how you do stupid.
It. Just change the words.
Like, what we're going to do is we're going to make that legal so they can illegally come here. And then we'll say, look, we have a lot less illegals coming through.
I'm telling you, at some point, probably in the black population, because they're the ones getting hurt the most by the wages being pushed down, somebody's going to come along and start rallying people around them because they're saying how much these people are damaging us, how much they're freeloading. And that's how strong men get in power. It's going to be scary. I'm telling you, there will be a resurgence of some sort of clan group because of shit like this.
I want to talk about why black people are most impacted by this. These illegals, most of them are going to cities. They're not going to small towns. There's not illegals running around my town. The majority of the black population in America live in cities.
Yeah.
It was part of a migration that happened because they were looking for work.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was after during Reconstruction.
Yep. And you're putting all of these illegals into those communities. So they're dealing with the violence, they're dealing with the public service issues, and they're dealing with wage deflation.
Yeah. And competition for low-paying, unskilled jobs, which most people need to learn job skills when you first enter the workforce. And if you work any kind of low-paying job, even like construction work especially, I would say, which is not necessarily low-paying, but when you're entry-level, it is. A lot of those jobs are being taken by illegals who are willing to work off books.
Yep.
If you're an American citizen, you can't do that.
If you work in the construction industry, you're probably being fucked by illegals.
Yeah. So I think that there's going to end up being some real pushback on this shit at some point, and it's going to lead to a lot of societal problems because now there's a massive population of these illegals in the country that all insist they have a right to be here, and they're going to fight back. But I think you're going to see the rise of some real scary vigilante shit if they keep doing this, because it is crippling cities. Look at anywhere along the border. It's disgusting. Even fucking Mayor Adams from New York City came out and was bitching about it because he got like 5,000 illegals in his city, and he's like, well, it's hurting our social services.
It's so bad they actually had to send in a cleanup crew before Biden could go down there.
Yeah. And that's just along the border. These people are getting bussed all over the fucking country.
Yep.
And they're creating their own enclave communities. And you think that's not going to end poorly for us?
Hispanic illegals count for less crime than blacks, legal or otherwise. I'm going to stop you right there. You did see the illegal part, right?
Yeah, they're already criminals.
Literally every one of them, 100% of them are criminals. 100%. Yep. I get what you're going for there. And by the way, last I looked that up, that stat is not actually illegals, it's legal citizens. But that just comes largely from the fact that they take their citizenship a lot stronger than even most of us do.
Yeah. Well, they earned it.
They earned it.
They had to go through all the hoops, pay all the fines, and they had to learn American history. They had to learn to speak English. They put the work in. These people are just wandering over the border like, oh, I'm a citizen now. Give me all the free shit.
Every goddamn one of them is a criminal and engaged in criminal activity every moment that they're in this country.
Yeah. And what they don't talk about is all the identity theft, all the working off the books, not paying their taxes.
Oh,
all the
Jack, you and I don't mean to interrupt here, but you and I are the only people I've ever heard talk about the identity theft.
Yeah, it's mentioned every now and then in a news article, and that's it.
They rarely talk about it.
Yeah.
Identity theft is a huge deal. How do you think these people get? Because they're paying taxes. How the fuck are they paying taxes?
Yeah,
they're not. When they say that, they're not just talking about sales taxes. Some of them are actually paying federal and state taxes with somebody else's name.
Yep.
Anyhow,
but they don't talk about that because that goes against the narrative. You're being mean to the brown people that speak a funny language because they won't bother to learn English.
We're gonna wrap up here, Jack. I got a video game to go play, and I think I've been annoyed enough for one night.
Okay. Do you want to do a palate cleanser before we go?
If you got one, sure. What you got?
The one that ends in KBO.
The last one there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, anytime we get on the whole illegal one, that gets us both fired up.
Yeah, I get really mad about that one.
Because it shouldn't be this way. And it shouldn't have to be this way.
And a lot of people get hurt because of the government not doing its basic fucking job. My sister told me about this one.
Disney fans are selling alleged water from Splash Mountain for $200. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ty. Why do so many places in the world speak Spanish? Because of Spanish colonialism.
Yeah. The Spanish conquered most of South America.
Yep.
And Florida.
And yeah, parts of the United States were Spanish at one time.
Yeah.
Until we finally took it from them.
Yeah. A lot of places in Florida, St. Augustine, places like that had Spanish forts on them. They were Spanish territory for quite a long time.
Fuck, isn't every name in California, every city name a fucking Spanish name?
Pretty much, yeah. Because the Spanish were big out west. Because they ran most of Mexico and south of that. And that's largely because they funded Columbus to come over here. So, of course, they were one of the first ones to come out here. The conquistadors went around slaughtering people. I mean, when they were looking for the Fountain of Youth, they were all the way up in Kansas.
Thank you, Ty, for the donation. Yeah, I mean, they just, at that time, I mean, the French were here.
The Dutch. The English, French, English.
Germans
Dutch,
were here in
Germans.
part. Not as big a force as the French,
They kind of
Spanish,
gave up early on.
English. Yeah.
Spanish, that was the most of Portuguese, because Brazil's Portuguese.
Yeah. So I mean, that was what was done at the time, and the Spanish were very good at it, and nobody really cared about South America, so they pretty much got it to themselves. Anyway, Disney World Splash Mountain has had its last ride Monday, and some people are trying to make the most out of it. The iconic amusement park ride in Orlando, Florida, shut down as it prepares for its makeover as Tiana's Bayou Adventure, based on the 2009 film Princess and the Frog. It's set to relaunch in 2024. I mean, sure. Ty, thank you. Why didn't the English stop the Spanish invasion?
They could. There's nobody in areas. The English were only in areas of like Virginia and areas north of that, like up to Plymouth Rock, and that was mostly Puritans that were like English exiles. There was not that many English settlements in the United States for a long, long time, and the Spanish were colonizing places like Mexico and Florida during that time. I think the oldest settlement in the States is in Florida. Wasn't that St. Augustine?
Might be. I'm not familiar. But I mean, the English, it's not like the English never fought the Spanish, but it's really hard to prosecute a war on another continent. The American Revolution shows that. What was before that? Oh God. Was it the Spanish-American War? Wars across an ocean, especially back then, were not just extremely expensive, but just getting your equipment there was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was a lot more difficult to move that kind of men and equipment at the time. And they were so far apart that they didn't really come to conflict for a long time until there was more of a race for settlement. So the Dutch kind of gave up early on. The French pulled out during Napoleon's era, when that's how we got the Louisiana Purchase.
Yep.
It got basically all of the West from Louisiana over. And Alaska was owned by the Russians until Stewart bought it during Lincoln's administration. So there was a lot of people holding a lot of different territory for a long, long time. And eventually they just, foreign wars kept them from coming over here and reinforcing their own settlements. So places eventually drifted off and became their own body politic.
Since it's closing, Disney goers, I don't know if I thank Ty for that one. Thank you for that, Ty. Since it's closing, Disney goers have taken to eBay to attempt to sell water they say is from the ride. One listing, which is going for $4.25, with 9 bids and 24 watchers as of Tuesday morning. The post shows a picture of a plastic bag of water that is Splash Mountain Ride 1/22/2023, written on the bag in permanent marker.
Oh, permanent marker sold.
One of the higher end sales, another person is selling 6 ounces of the limited water for $199.99. The photo in the listing shows a small mason jar of water being held in front of Splash Mountain. If you're dumb enough to buy water for $200, if it's Splash Mountain water, heavily chlorinated water, you're just an idiot.
Now, to be fair, from what my sister was telling me, the last couple days people were complaining about the smell because they turned off the chlorination.
Nice. Ty, thank you again. Portuguese and Spanish sound similar. Hola, hola. I don't know how you say it in Portuguese, but they're not all that different. I mean, they're from the same Iberian Peninsula there.
Yeah, they're right next to each other.
Frankly, I mean, there's a lot of languages that are like that. If you know even a little bit of Spanish, you'll recognize a lot of English words that are very similar to Spanish. Same with French and German and all of the Latin offshoots.
Yeah, the Romance languages are all derived from Latin. English is derived from Latin and German. That's the hybridization that created most of the English language. So yeah, unless you're talking like Norse or something, most of Europe has roots in Latin because of the Roman circus.
Thank you, Ty. Thoughts on Biden sending 31 tanks to Ukraine? I'd really prefer we don't get into World War III.
Yeah, no shit.
We've covered that a little bit yesterday in more detail. So Beth says, well, Splash Mountain had closed recently, though. I hear you, but you're talking about spending $200 on a 6-ounce jar of water that they could have just gotten from their melted ice in their drink that they had. I mean, I don't even care that it's Splash Mountain. I really don't. You'd have a better chance at selling like a Mickey Mouse head that you stole from one of the poor actors in the park.
Yeah,
that would get money.
If you were selling the Brer Rabbit from Splash Mountain, I could see people buying that.
Sure, yeah.
But they're selling some filthy, gross-ass water that some bum probably peed in.
Yeah.
So, no, not at all. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Look, my sister's a huge Disney fan, and she's like, I would not spend $200 on water.
I wouldn't spend the $425 on the other one either.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was written in permanent marker, Jack.
Oh, permanent marker. I mean, that's how much more legit can you get?
Guys, I'm going to be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey with my friend Hobo X Bubba Hotep. We're going to be chasing some ghosts again tonight. Had a lot of fun last night, and we're going to be doing that again. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you very, very much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to show out?
I'll drop some links to a cool video. But thank you so much for the donations and coming out and supporting us. You guys are awesome. We greatly appreciate it.
You know, we didn't talk about Nick with Kyle on, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't all that interesting.
I didn't watch it.
And there's not a real reason to. Most of the interesting stuff he can't get into because there are the lawsuits ongoing, so he's got to still be careful what he says.
Yeah.
He won't disparage anybody because he's a nice guy. And so it was kind of a awkward interview at times. I mean, if you want to see just for the public interest of it, I guess watch it. I would say just watch Nick's next show instead. But yeah, it wasn't very exciting. It wasn't very interesting. And that's not Nick's fault. Kyle just wasn't a good guest.
Well, I mean, how exciting could he be? I mean, no offense to the kid, but if he can't talk about anything.
Yeah. I hear you. I just part of it, like at the very beginning, Nick asked him something, and he's asking about his childhood, and instead he goes
10 minutes ago.
Well, yeah. Well, he wanted to know who Kyle was before all of this happened, and Kyle launches into what I've seen him say many times. It almost seems rehearsed about how he was just defending himself, and it's like that's not what he even asked you, kid. So, he's just a kid who was in a shitty situation, not an entertainer. Well, okay, hold that thought. He has started a YouTube channel, and he's done TikTok videos. He's trying to become an entertainer. So I'm not being mean here. He was just awkward and kind of boring.
Now, if you want something more interesting, go over to Creepy Little Book and watch his Antarctica playlist. That's way more fun.
I'll be on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey here in just a little bit playing some Phasmo. I'm going to try to get it done quickly tonight, or get over there quickly so we can get started because I am getting tired and I'm going to have to go to bed. I'm old, Jack. I'm old.
I'm old. I'm tired.
I'm old and crippled. That's the perfect thing. Oh, Ty, thank you. Thoughts on the Bills Damar Hamlin conspiracy? I don't know if you saw this, Jack.
No.
He's the guy who got hit and died on the field, and they brought him back to life.
Yeah.
He went to the Bills game the other day and kept his head covered the whole time. So there's a conspiracy that there was a body double and that he actually died.
Or he's just wearing a hood up because that's a style.
If it was him, his skin was remarkably light. I'll just put it that way.
I don't know.
I'm not
I
saying
don't care.
I'm not saying it was him. I'm not saying it wasn't him. I don't think he actually died, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just wanted, a little bit of hype for the game and him coming back, and so they use somebody else. I don't know, but
I'm going to continue to not care at all. Like, the
Faithless
guy's
said-
supposedly alive. Good for him. Awesome. I don't give a shit. It's football. I could care less about football.
Faithless says, or he's a vegetable and they are not telling. That's very possible. Very possible.
Maybe. Hey, how
I
about
don't
this
know.
for adding on the conspiracy? Pfizer hired the body double.
I mean, there's a lot of people who think that's what did it. I have no idea. I don't know what stopped the man's heart. It's just weird that a young professional football player had his heart stopped from such a minor impact.
Yeah, suddenly, no less.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
For those who are wondering, this is the end of the show. And Eliza Bleu is a dirty lying hoe.